है, 30,000 रुपए किलो हींग है, वो डालते हैं इसमें। आप खाओगे जब आपको पता चलेगा।
And from poll-bound Haryana to poll-bound Jammu and Kashmir, that goes to polls in a matter of 24 hours from now. It's the second phase of assembly elections to decide the fate of 239 candidates, including former Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Omar Abdullah. After a 61.1% voter turnout, now 25.78 lakh voters will be casting their vote on the 25th of September. From regional parties, pledges to release jail youth to BJP's opposition to restoration of special status, the second phase of campaigning for 26 assembly seats in 6 districts of Jammu and Kashmir. This is with, a huge voter turnout that's expected. Of course, it is Omar Abdullah in the fray, but my colleague Nazir has the details of the other prominent leaders who are also in the fray.
Exactly, around 25,000 lakh people will be deciding the fate of the 26 assembly, on 6 assembly seats. And today, preparations for the polling are underway. Polling staff and the security forces are being deployed at their respective places. So it is a prestige battle for all the parties. And who wins this round is expected to win this election or would be the largest party. This is a very, very challenging task, and we have seen intense campaigning, high-pitched campaigning, because the stakes in this phase was very high. Party chiefs of 3 political parties, BJP, National Conference, and the Congress are contesting in this phase. Omar Abdullah is contesting from 2 seats, Badgam and Gandarbal. Tariq Kara of Congress contesting from Central Shaltang in Srinagar, where Rahul Gandhi yesterday campaigned by him. And similarly, BJP's Ravinder Raina is contesting from this Rajouri's district. So this is, as I said, high-stake battle for all the political parties. And we have seen lots of, during the campaigning, there were allegations and counter-allegations, promises and counter-promises, terrorism, reservation, employment, all these, issues became the central to the issue. Regional parties have their own priorities. The national parties have their own agendas and manifestos.
Right, thank you so much, Nazir, for getting us all those details, and all eyes on the second phase of voting that will start early tomorrow morning. Switching tracks now to Andhra Pradesh, and the sale of Tirumala laddus at the temples being run by the TTD across Andhra Pradesh continued as usual. Over the last 4 days, we've seen over 14 lakh laddus that have been sold, and it is the FSSAI that's issued a show cause notice to the ghee supply. We're talking about AR Dairy. A show cause notice has been issued to AR Dairy. The temple authority also has set up a sensory panel which will now evaluate food samples on the parameters of aroma, taste and texture. My colleague Uma has the details.
The fact that there has been no dip in the sale of laddus at Tirupati seems to indicate that the trust, belief, faith and also the respect that people have for the Tirupati laddu has not been affected by the recent controversy that broke out after Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu said that animal fat could have been present in the cow ghee that was used to make the Tirupati laddu. What I must point out is that the government got a report yesterday from the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, and even as the FSSAI, which is the Food Standards Authority of India, had issued notices to the AR Dairy, the vendor whose samples seem to have tested positive for animal fat in the cow ghee. The report given by the TTD says that in the last few months, they noticed, rather when the new government took over, they noticed that there had been multiple complaints of lack of quality, and they then realized that the suppliers were giving low quality cow ghee, and that's why they were given warnings, and they were also threatened that they would be blacklisted in case the quality did not improve. Subsequently, we are told only AR Dairy does not seem to have adhered to the standards, and they had supplied about 8 tankers to the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam, of which the first 4 tankers, it appears, were used, and the rest of the 4 tankers that came in on the 12th and the 15th of July, samples from there were taken and sent for adulteration testing to NDTV, and subsequently the lab reports seem to indicate that there could be presence of animal fat, including fish tallow, fish oil, beef tallow, as well as lard. Now the notice being issued to this vendor as well, and the Food Safety Authority also issuing the notices to them. On the other hand, Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu has said that all the measures will be taken to reassure the devotees that the sanctity of the temple and of the laddu is being protected in every possible way. Of course, purification rituals also happened yesterday, including a Shanti Homam.
Thank you, Uma, for getting us all those details. We will keep tracking that story. And like Uma was pointing out, that sales and business as usual when it comes to the laddus at the Tirupati temples. We will keep tracking that story. For now, we're stepping into a very short break. Back to the whole lot now.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
लोन मिलेगा या नहीं, ये आपके क्रेडिट स्कोर पर डिपेंड करता है। आज ही जाइए पैसाबाजार.com पर और अपना क्रेडिट स्कोर चेक कीजिए फ्री में, क्योंकि लोन की जरूरत किसी को भी कभी भी पड़ सकती है।
चल एक्टिंग थोड़ा भेल बनो।
ए आयो भाई पैसाबाजार.com।
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead. From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show.
Breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
लोन मिलेगा या नहीं, ये आपके क्रेडिट स्कोर पे डिपेंड करता है। तो आज ही अपना क्रेडिट स्कोर चेक करें फ्री में पैसाबाजार.com पर। लोन की जरूरत कभी भी किसी को भी पड़ सकती है।
ठीक से एक्टिंग नहीं।
पैसाबाजार.com।
Election sunrise is on the proverbial paradise. Jammu and Kashmir gets set to vote in assembly elections after a gap of 10 years.
For the BJP, it's a referendum on Article 370. For the Congress and regional parties, it's a battle for survival. An election that will go down in the history. Watch the most comprehensive, the most nuanced, and the most power-packed coverage only on NDTV.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code, and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future, you can't wish away health. It's time to become more resilient. "10 years of Banega Swasth India, we have grown and achieved so many milestones. And now I have a plan to beat the urgency, to stop breathing with difficulty, to relieve getting choked with inactivity. Energize, our government, our environment, our society, and ourselves. Everyone, everywhere, every day. Banega Swasth India. One World Hygiene.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
And impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead.
from Maximum City, Mumbai,
To the seat of power, Delhi.
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show.
breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
Election sunrise is on the proverbial paradise. Jammu and Kashmir gets set to vote in assembly elections after a gap of 10 years.
For the BJP, it's a referendum on Article 370. For the Congress and regional parties, it's a battle for survival. An election that will go down in the history. Watch the most comprehensive, the most nuanced, and the most power-packed coverage only on NDTV.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code.
Let's get you the latest from Karnataka, where security has been beefed up around the residence of the Chief Minister. This is in regard to the verdict that's going to be pronounced by the Karnataka High Court today. Do remember that the Chief Minister had, made a plea in the High Court in regard to the approval. This is the nod that was given to the governor in order to investigate the Chief Minister in the Mudra scam. So security has been beefed up. In fact, the police presence and security has increased in the city in order as far as the sensitive areas in Bengaluru are concerned, in regard to avoid any kind of untoward incident following the verdict that is expected to be announced within half an hour from now. Let's just listen into what H.K. Patil, the Law Minister of Karnataka, had to say.
This is going to make a big political turn.
We're all expecting justice naturally, and I don't think this issue where you're all in anxiety, I'm sure there will be a verdict in favor of Chief Minister, because there is no instance nowhere the Chief Minister has either himself ordered or orally given instructions or wrote anything on the file. When there is no mistake of his, naturally he will get justice.
Sir, as a
So all eyes on that verdict that is expected at 12 o'clock, and it is my colleague Pratibha who has in fact spoken to the RTI activist in this particular case. Let's just listen in to what has been said in regard to this case. We are talking about the activist, one of the complainants in the Muda scam. My colleague Pratibha has the details.
We have with us Mr. T.J. Abraham, one of the respondents in the case where we are talking about the Muda verdict today. Sir, what are your expectations from the verdict today?
It should come in my favor.
And
who will expect something against their self? I'm not basing that on the common expectation that everybody who goes to the court should get a favorable order. No. I'm looking at the steps that I've taken, the procedures that I've followed. Where is the fault? I'm supposed to file a complaint to the police. After some time, I'm supposed to go to the SP with 154.3. I've done that. And then I'm supposed to seek the sanction. They say, why the police are supposed to seek? No, those people who make that, who put forward those arguments, they lack knowledge that this High Court has passed an order last year where the complainant has to go get the private person has to go get the sanction. That is how I approached.
do you also see this as a make or break situation for Mr. Siddaramaiah here?
It's not my concern at all. I am not going to make any political comments on this, because what happens to that? See, my point is to fight corruption. Politics is a different ball game. When I come into that arena, I'll speak about that. That's okay.
What, in case it is a setback for the Chief Minister, what are your next steps after that?
My caveat is there in Delhi. They will go to the Supreme Court and they will file against this order. We will be informed by the court and we will also approach. We will face it there.
Right. And the ultimate destination of your case, where do you want to see it landing?
See, this is a pure case of 14 sites just going without an iota of legal eligibility. You do not have it all yet. You come into the picture in 2004 and your wife is saying this, not me. Your wife in 2014 and 2021, based on which the 14 sites have been given. These two letters, 2014, 2021, both these letters, your wife says the Muda has taken over the land in 2001. So where the hell were you? Your brother-in-law came into the picture in 2004, yeah? Where was that agricultural land which he bought? Simple, common sense.
All eyes on that verdict that's expected within 20 minutes from now. And switching tracks to Mumbai, a Metropolitan Region Development Authority has unveiled a groundbreaking infrastructure plan. This is going to be promising to reshape the future as far as connectivity in the financial capital is concerned. The ambitious Ring Road project aims to create a seamless network of roads, flyovers and tunnels that will connect the bustling city of Mumbai to its sprawling metropolitan region. And this mega infrastructure project is expected to be completed by 2029. And my colleague Radhika spoke with the man behind the master plan.
Mr. Mukherjee, first question, of course, give us a comprehensive overview of this project. What does it entail? Which are the areas that it's going to connect? What is the cost and how is it going to make lives of citizens easier as far as City of Mumbai is concerned?
So MMRDA prepares a comprehensive mobility plan of the entire MMR region. And it is MMRDA's endeavor to ensure that connectivity is smoother, and we are continuously trying to reboot the city of Mumbai, and we are trying to give a proper shape, reshape the area of MMR. And the reason behind this is the enormous economic importance that MMR has. And as we speak, MMR area contributes something like to 4.6% of the national GDP. And you know, even BKC by itself contributes something shy of 3% of the national GDP. So that is the importance of this particular area. Now, the idea is that, you know, pedestrians first. So pedestrians are at the ground level. Cars will have to be at a higher level or at a lower level. Second, public transport. So whatever you do, that should be integrated with the metro network. That is the second thing. Third, environmental sustainability. So you choose the location and the corridor where it is the most easiest to take up the activity.
If you can briefly explain to us the connectivity.
Yes. So if you look into it, a lot of this work is already ongoing. Like the Mumbai Coastal Road, this is being executed by the BMC. Then you have the, so if you take the island city, the Mumbai Coastal Road is being executed by the BMC. MMRDA is constructing the Worli to Shivdi Sea Link. This connects to the Eastern Freeway and to the MTHL here. And then from the Eastern Freeway, MMRDA is executing this Orange Gate Tunnel as we speak. So this.
Breaking news coming in regard to Mollywood in the MeToo probe. The accused actor Mukesh is being questioned by the SIT. The Special Investigation Team is questioning the actor and the MLA Mukesh that is now being questioned in regard to the case. This is the SIT questioning the actor and the CPM MLA Mukesh in Kochi. The SIT is questioning him, and this is in the sexual harassment case. This after the actor was granted anticipatory bail in that particular case. And we have my colleague Ishika joining us to get us more on this. Ishika, is this routine procedure as far as the questioning by the SIT is concerned, even though the actor has got anticipatory bail?
Well, Divya, if you remember, there were cases of, sexual assault that were filed against actor and MLA Mukesh, in which, in fact, the SIT was, in fact, planning to summon him for interrogation. But at that time, we did see that he had approached the Ernakulam, Principal Sessions Court seeking the anticipatory bail plea. Thus, even the police was, in fact, monitoring this particular case. But when he was given this anticipatory bail by the Ernakulam Principal Session Court, the condition that is very, very important here, Divya, the condition that was mentioned here, that he will have to appear before the investigating officer on any day for the interrogation in this particular case. And thus, now the police, in fact, had called him for questioning, and now the questioning is underway in Ernakulam. The SIT, in fact, is questioning him in, in this particular case that was filed against him by the actor. In fact, by the actor who also, in fact, filed case against several other Mollywood heavyweights. So in that, in that regard of sexual assault case, the questioning is currently underway for MLA Mukesh. Remember, and also which we broke on NDTV here, is that his party, that is also in the government, did not ask for his resignation, even though there was a lot of, protests that we saw on the streets of Kerala. And in fact, there were several excuses that were given by the party, saying, that even though there are cases against the Congress MLAs, they have not resigned, then why should Mukesh resign? So all of this only, in fact, amped up the anger that was there among the public. So now the police, in fact, is going forward with the case. They are currently, the SIT team that has been formed by the state government is currently questioning the CPM MLA Mukesh. But certainly after this, the trouble will mount for MLA Mukesh. Over to you.
Right, as trouble mounts for actor Siddique, as well as the Kerala High Court, in fact, dismissed the bail application of the actor. So his bail plea, his anticipatory bail has been dismissed by Kerala High Court. And now from Ishika, what we're hearing is that he's moved the Supreme Court.
Well, today only, it was a big setback for actor Siddique. He's also a Mollywood heavyweight against whom there were grave charges of rape that were leveled against him. And today the Kerala High Court has, in fact, dismissed his anticipatory bail plea. Remember that he had, in fact, approached the Kerala High Court after, calling it nothing but, a conspiracy against him. And also in his petition, he had mentioned that the complainant in this case had made allegations against him even in 2019, but she has, in fact, changed the details just so that she can get him booked, under non-bailable offences. So this was what, he had mentioned in his petition, but it was a big setback for him. The Kerala High Court has now dismissed that anticipatory bail plea. But what we are getting to know from our sources, Divya, is that now actor Siddique is going to move to Supreme Court. He is certainly waiting for the order copy to come from the High Court, and after that, actor Siddique will be moving to Supreme Court. So now certainly this Mollywood MeToo moment that we have been covering, Divya, on NDTV, now it is certainly going to reach the top court. So that will also be very, very important as to now, after the entry of the top court in this, where will this entire, MeToo moment go, in which direction? Because, we have seen that there have been voices from both the sides. Over to you.
Right, Ishika, we will keep tracking that story and coming back to you for more on that. Switching tracks now to Madhya Pradesh and private buses rule as far as Madhya Pradesh is concerned. The government bus network almost defunct and no respite from high ticket prices. When will this monopoly really end is the big question. This is in regard to the second biggest state in the country, which does not have, when we talk about the infrastructure, as far as buses are concerned, Madhya Pradesh's private buses, which are, asking for a very high fare, and the commuters are facing major issues when it comes to government buses, which are very few as far as Madhya Pradesh is concerned.
तो 5 रुपया हम सीवर से घूम के वापस आ जाते पहले सरकारी बस चलती थी जब
पहले कम था बहुत समय पहले कम था अब बढ़ गया
Bhopal's Nadra bus stand, a constant rush of passengers, be it morning or evening. Though there are only 40 seats in the bus, somehow nearly 70 passengers are crammed in. With no one to check, fares are charged arbitrarily. Bhagwan Das, a resident of Tikamgarh, works in a brick kiln in Bhopal. He travels to his village once a month, but just the travel costs him over 1,000 rupees. He earns 300 rupees a day, barely enough to cover his travel.
बस का किराया 520 रुपया है और हमें जाने में बहुत महीने में 1-2 बार जाते हैं पैसा भी कम कमाते हैं और बहुत दिक्कत आती है।
अच्छा, कितना पैसा कमाते हैं आप?
300-400 रुपए कमाते हैं दिन का।
ठीक है, और कितना किराया है?
520 रुपए।
Man Singh Gaur is a regular on such buses. Travelling from Obedullah Ganj to Sehor, Man Singh recalled how fares were lower when government buses were operational.
5 रुपया हम सीवर से घूम के वापस आ जाते पहले सरकारी बस चलती थी जब अब जो प्राइवेट है तो लूट रही है कैसे जितने समय आ रहे उतने ले रहा है सवारी खूब भर रहा है खड़े होने का जगह नहीं है चलना चाहिए बस है तो सरकारी बस तो चलना चाहिए.
This situation is not limited to Bhopal. We travelled with passengers from remote areas and heard their struggles firsthand. In 2005, the Madhya Pradesh State Road Transportation Corporation was shut down, citing heavy losses. Though no official gazette notification has been issued till date. Since then, private operators have taken over and continue to violate rules and operate without proper checks. The decision to shut down the Transport Corporation was taken by then CM Babu Lal Gaur. The corporation was said to be running a loss of 756 crore rupees with liabilities amounting to 1,033 crore rupees. With no government buses on the roads, private buses operate freely, breaking rules and overloading passengers. Many buses operate without valid permits or fitness checks, even though the state has witnessed several major road accidents. In 2021, 54 people died in a bus accident in Siddique. In 2023, 13 people were burned alive in a bus accident in Guna. In 2022, 13 people lost their lives in a bus accident in Dhar. Many more were injured in bus accidents in Balaghat, Pandurna and Rajghat. The government is considering restarting the public transport system, but it remains in its early stages.
लंबे समय से हम लोग इस विषय में माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी के निर्देश थे उस पर हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं और मुख्यमंत्री जी का ये मानना है कि अगर संभावना बनती है तो ग्रामीण परिवहन को शुरू किया जाना चाहिए.
Interestingly, many private buses are owned by politicians. A survey shows that more than 50% of buses belong to influential political figures. 50% of the buses are owned by prominent leaders of the BJP and Congress. 68 bus operators are former BJP MLAs and district heads. About 10 major bus operators are linked to the Congress. There are 37,276 buses registered in the Transport Department's records in the state. Of these, 19,000 belong to educational institutions, while the remaining 18,276 are passenger buses, out of which over 9,000 belong to politicians.
The roads of Madhya Pradesh are full of unregulated private buses, leaving the common people to deal with expensive and crowded rides. As government weighs its option, the biggest question remains that when will the public transport return to the roads? With camera person Abhishek Singh from Bhopal, Amritanshi Joshi for NDTV.
Switching tracks now to the United States, and it's Prime Minister Modi's 3-day US visit that's come to an end. And just before wrapping up the visit, the Prime Minister made a big push for peace. He met on the sidelines with the Ukrainian President Zelensky, and this comes a day after he met with the Palestinian President as well in New York. This was the second meeting as far as the two leaders, whether it's the Indian leader or the Ukrainian leader, in about a month's time. Prime Minister Modi had visited Ukraine on the 23rd of August and reiterated India's willingness to contribute in all possible ways to facilitate an early return of peace in the conflict. Now, a joint statement followed the meeting between the two leaders that have gone on to express how mutual interest in working towards elevating bilateral relations from a comprehensive partnership to a strategic partnership in the future. And of course, the Prime Minister has gone on to say that there is no place for war when also reiterating its time for peace. Listen in.
Success of humanity lies in our collective strength, not in the battlefield. और वैश्विक शांति एवं विकास के लिए ग्लोबल संस्थाओं में रिफॉर्म्स आवश्यक है.
And that's the Prime Minister there reiterating India's willingness to, bring about peace in the conflict when it comes to Ukraine and other areas of the world. With that, we're slipping in a very short break. Back with a whole lot more on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
And gold prices are at an all-time high. We're talking about 76,000 rupees for 10 grams of gold. So this is just ahead of the festive season, which has resulted in the prices going off the charts.
लोन मिलेगा या नहीं ये आपके क्रेडिट स्कोर पे डिपेंड करता है। तो आज ही पैसाबाजार.com पर जाइए और अपना क्रेडिट स्कोर चेक कीजिए फ्री में, क्योंकि लोन की जरूरत कभी भी किसी को भी पड़ सकती है। बस एक्टिंग करा लो इनसे। पैसाबाजार.com, क्रेडिट स्कोर चेक, आदत अच्छी है।
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of gold, and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future, you can't wish away health. It's time to become more resilient. 10 years of Banega Swasth India, we have grown and achieved so many milestones. And now I have a plan to beat the urgency, to stop breathing with difficulty, to relieve getting choked with inactivity. Energize our government, our environment, our society, and ourselves. Everyone, everywhere, every day. Banega Swasth India. One world hygiene.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead. From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show. Breakfast news on NDTV.
8 a.m. every day.
लोन मिलेगा या नहीं ये आपके क्रेडिट स्कोर पर डिपेंड करता है। आज ही जाइए पैसाबाजार.com पर और अपना क्रेडिट स्कोर चेक कीजिए फ्री में, क्योंकि लोन की जरूरत किसी को भी कभी भी पड़ सकती है।
चल एक्टिंग थोड़ा भेल बनो।
ये आया बात पैसाबाजार.com।
Election sunrise is on the proverbial paradise. Jammu and Kashmir gets set to vote in assembly elections after a gap of 10 years.
For the BJP, it's a referendum on Article 370. For the Congress and regional parties, it's a battle for survival. An election that will go down in the history. Watch the most comprehensive, the most nuanced, and the most power-packed coverage only on NDTV.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code, and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future, you can't wish away health. It's time to become more resilient. "10 years of Banega Swasth India, we have grown and achieved so many milestones. And now I have a plan to beat the urgency, to stop breathing with difficulty, to relieve getting choked with inactivity. Energize our government, our environment, our society, and ourselves. Everyone, everywhere, every day. Banega Swasth India. One world hygiene.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead.
From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show.
breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
Election sunrise is on the proverbial paradise. Jammu and Kashmir gets set to vote in assembly elections after a gap of 10 years.
Good afternoon and welcome. You're watching the 12 o'clock news. I'm Rishika Barua. The big focus story for us is the Karnataka High Court verdict in the Muda case. We'll get you all the latest action from ground zero. First up, a quick check on the headlines. The Karnataka High Court to pass its verdict in Chief Minister Siddaramaia's plea challenging the approval granted by the governor to investigate the Chief Minister in the Muda case. The Mollywood MeToo case, actor Siddique's anticipatory bail has been rejected. Sources say the rape-accused actor is now mulling moving the Supreme Court. This is the SIT questions actor and CPIM MLA Mukesh in Kochi. Amid the Tirupati Prasad Rao, sales of the laddus continue as usual. There's been no dip in sale. According to reports, over 14 lakh laddus have been sold in 4 days. This is the FSSAI has issued a show cause notice to the Tirupati ghee supplier. And the big battle for the state of Haryana, NDTV tracks the poll pulse from ground zero. Will rebels play spoil spot for both the Congress and the BJP? NDTV caught up with both Savitri Jindal, who's hit out at the BJP, and Chitra Sarwara, who has jabbed the Congress. Both were denied tickets by the respective parties. Phase 2 of the Jammu and Kashmir polls. Tomorrow, 239 candidates, including Omar Abdullah, in the fray. Well, with the Mudda scam verdict to be pronounced shortly, the Karnataka state and Bengaluru specifically is now in a state of alert. Senior officers have issued notices to all commissionerates and all district SPs, DCPs to increase vigil, especially in sensitive areas, in case there are any kinds of protests or riots or sit-in protests post the verdict. Notice has also been issued to ensure precautions are taken to avoid any untoward incidents. Anyone protesting is instructed to go to Freedom Park. There has been a notice, of course, for heightened patrolling in several areas as well. The Karnataka High Court, remember, will be pronouncing a verdict today on the petition that has been filed by Chief Minister Siddaramaiah challenging the approval that's been granted by Governor Thawarchand Gehlot to investigate him in the Muda land allotment case. The Karnataka Chief Minister, remember, is facing prosecution over alleged irregularities related to the alleged scam, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out, because his wife is also one of the people who is in question over here. Before we get to the details of what is the scam and what are the possible political ramifications of this verdict, and NDTV's Veera Raghav will join us live from Bengaluru to decode that for us. Let's just listen in to what one of the RTI activists, one of the complainants in the Mudda scam, has in fact told my colleague Pratibha.
We have with us Mr. TJ Abraham, one of the respondents in the case where we are talking about the Muda verdict today. Sir, what are your expectations from the verdict today?
It should come in my favor.
And
who will expect something against their self? I'm not basing that on the common expectation that everybody who goes to the court should get a favorable order. No. I'm looking at the steps that I've taken, the procedures that I've followed. Where is the fault? I'm supposed to file a complaint to the police. After some time, I'm supposed to go to the SP with 154.3. I've done that, and then I'm supposed to seek the sanction. They say why the police are supposed to seek. No, those people who make that, who put forward those arguments, they lack knowledge that this High Court has passed an order last year where the complainant has to go get the private person has to go get the sanction. That is how I approached.
do you also see this as a make or break situation for Mr. Siddaramaiah here?
It's not my concern at all. I am not going to make any political comments on this, because what happens to that? See, my point is to fight corruption. Politics is a different ball game. When I come into that arena, I'll speak about that. That's okay.
What, in case it is a setback for the Chief Minister, what are your next steps after that?
My caveat is there in Delhi. They will go to the Supreme Court and they will file against this order. We will be informed by the court and we will also approach. We will face it there.
Right. And the ultimate destination of your case, where do you want to see it landing?
See, this is a pure case of 14 sides just going without an iota of legal eligibility. You do not have it all yet. You come into the picture in 2004 and your wife is saying this, not me. Your wife in 2014 and 2021, based on which the 14 sites have been given, these two letters, 2014, 2021, both these letters, your wife says the Muda has taken over the land in 2001. So where the hell were you? Your brother-in-law came into the picture in 2004, yeah? Where was that agricultural land which he bought? Simple, common sense.
And NDTV's Veera Raghav now joins us live from Bengaluru. Before we get into the politics of this, Veera, I also want to very briefly tell our viewers, what is the Muda scam? What does it really involve? It's essentially got to do with discrepancies in land allotment, and some beneficiaries, allegedly the Chief Minister's wife, got some prime property at inflated value. So therefore, the entire allegation against the Chief Minister is quite grave, because the allegation says that norms were violated in order to allot the higher priced land to the Chief Minister's wife. That verdict is going to come in shortly. We're given to understand the judge is already assembled, Veera. What more can you tell us about this big test for Siddaramaiah?
Rishika, you seem to have explained the case itself in your question, but primarily it's a compensation allotment of land that was given not just to the Chief Minister's wife, several other beneficiaries as well, who have compensation land for land that was acquired by Muda. The question really is that where was the land given and what was the value of compensation and what loss to the exchequer did it create? When you acquire farmland and you give sites, the entire process seems to have been flawed, and prima facie, the process itself was flawed. But the question that Siddaramaiah has raised is that this was not when I was Chief Minister. The allotment happened when BJP was in power. So that's one part of it. What is this verdict that's going to come today, and why is it extremely important? Look, I think it would be sending a wrong signal to call this the Muda verdict. This is purely a verdict on whether the governor of the state was legally right in according sanction for prosecution of the Chief Minister when the cabinet, since the Chief Minister had advised the governor that prosecution should not be given for, sanction should not be given for prosecution of the Chief Minister. So the verdict today is on whether the Chief Minister can be prosecuted, A. B, was the governor legally right in according to the sanction? The argument of the Chief Minister and the Chief Minister's counsel, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, is that the governor cannot assume that the cabinet's advice is biased in this case, and the governor ought to be going by the advice of the state cabinet. The argument of the governor is that in 2004 Madhya Pradesh case, the courts have held that if there is a prima facie case, the governor is allowed to sanction prosecution of the public official in concern. Right. Look, remember, for prosecution of a public official, Rishika, you need the sanction of the authority capable of dismissing that public official. And in this case, for the Chief Minister, it is the governor. Hence, this case becomes important. Now, very briefly, Rishika, why is this important? If the case goes against Siddaramaiah in the court, and the court upholds the sanction for prosecution as legal, then it would mean that the Chief Minister will have to face prosecution. And then the question of moral right to remain in power will come into question. Whether a Chief Minister who's facing prosecution can remain in power or not. If it goes against him, then he has no prosecution to face. Yes. And hence he would have had a big victory and longevity in office.
But, Veera, before we get into merits of the case and what's happening in court, it's very interesting that you talk about the morality on whether or not Siddaramaiah should or shouldn't continue as Chief Minister if the verdict that's expected to come shortly doesn't go in his favor. In Delhi, for instance, we've had a Chief Minister who's been running the government, so to speak, via a proxy, as it may be, from the Tihar jail. So that's just a parallel to be drawn. But the question here is that he managed to do so. In the case of the Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi, he managed to do so because he had the support of the Aam Aadmi Party rank and file. In Siddaramaiah's case, while of course, the BJP has trained its guns on the Chief Minister, does the Congress have its house in order to throw its weight behind the Chief Minister should the verdict not go in his favor today?
I think it would be unfair at this stage to draw a conjuncture on whether the Congress House in order, because so far the Congress seems to have batted completely behind the Chief Minister. But yes, you're right. Given Arvind Kejriwal's example, will Siddaramaiah have the same hold over the party? Will there be other dissenting factions which want to aspire for the Chief Minister's post? Will they start playing out? But I think for the moment, the Congress seems to be united because, look, this is a double-edged battle, right, Rishika? It's also a battle between Raj Bhavan and the state government.
Veera,
How far can the government go?
breaking news that is coming in at the moment. It's a setback for Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. The petition of the Chief Minister has in fact been dismissed, which essentially means that the Karnataka High Court has ruled in favor of a probe being conducted against the Chief Minister. So that's the big verdict that is coming in at the moment. Veera, we're given to understand that the Karnataka High Court has said that there can be a probe against the Chief Minister.
I'm still waiting for confirmation on this and the exact details from our reporter Pratibha Raman, who's inside the court. I don't have that that categorical confirmation because remember, it's a complex case and one needs to listen very carefully and go through the context of the order, what has been dismissed, if it has been dismissed, the exact details before we arrive at a conclusion on what this really means. So we may have to just hold our horses a bit there, Rishika, till we get clarity. But as you're mentioning,
we have Pratibha sending us these details from inside the court. Veera, we are getting.
So Pratibha has sent this information. That the complaint.
Yes, Pratibha has sent this information, and I'll just tell you very quickly what Pratibha has said. What's happened in court essentially, while dismissing the petition challenging this governor's sanction, the Karnataka High Court has maintained that the complainants were justified in pursuing the complaint and seeking approval at the hands of the governor. So that is essentially a big win for the complainants in this case and a big setback for Siddaramaiah, is it not?
Remember, if this is what is the order, which says that there is no fault found in the governor's actions as far as the order is concerned, which is the message that's come from Pratibha, that the governor did apply his mind in abundance, which is how the court has held, then it would mean that prosecution against Siddaramaiah, which was stayed until this verdict, will resume. Now, this is a huge setback for the Chief Minister. A, as I mentioned, because the prosecution will go forward. Yes. And B, as you mentioned, what will happen to the internal dynamics and the question of moral authority will come into play. May not immediately, but one will have to see how this plays out in the next coming days. Because just pointing out, Rishika, that the Chief Minister will also challenge this order in the High Court, just as the petitioners would have challenged it had it gone the other way. And also underlining, this again will become an important order because a High Court is a court of record on the powers of a governor to issue sanction to a chief minister, even when a cabinet advises against such a procedure.
So this is an important precedent. This is an important precedent that the Karnataka High Court has essentially set because the judge, while delivering this verdict against the chief minister, has said very categorically, and again, this is information that our colleague Pratibha Raman is sending us from inside the courtroom, that under normal circumstances, it is the duty of the governor to act on the advice of the Council of Ministers, but he can take an independent decision in exceptional circumstances. Present case is one such exception.
And just pointing out that the governor's argument before the court was the 2004 Madhya Pradesh Special Police Establishment versus State of Madhya Pradesh case here, where the governor could prima facie act irrespective of what the cabinet advises in this case. Look, the governor versus government, state government battles have been playing out in several states. And this was another crucial question in terms of accordance of sanction for prosecution. One has to wait for more details of the order. We hope to get those from Pratibha, but the initial information that she shared with us from inside the court is that the petition challenging the sanction of prosecution of Chief Minister Siddaramaiah in the High Court has been dismissed by the High Court. It's likely that the Chief Minister, in fact, it's almost certain that the Chief Minister and his legal team will challenge this order in the Supreme Court. But it is a blow for Siddaramaiah. Had it gone the other way, the petitioners would have also challenged it. But this would mean that given till the Supreme Court or a higher court intervenes in this matter, the prosecution against Siddaramaiah can proceed.
Okay, in
and
fact, we're
hence-
given to understand now, Veera, that Abhishek Manu Singhvi, appearing on behalf of the Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, also sought an extension of the interim stay. He sought an extension of the interim stay for another 2 weeks, and that is also something that was denied to the judge. So essentially what this means, if I'm not wrong, is that the probe will begin immediately.
No, the prosecution, the FIR, filing of an FIR, the legal prosecution process against the Chief Minister will begin till the Supreme Court or till they get legal redressal to this measure from the High Court. It is quite, one would expect that a stay would not have been granted by the High Court if it has dismissed the petition overall. And the order seems categorical. Obviously, as I'm mentioning again here, Rishika, one has to wait for the context and the details of the order. But from what Pratibha has reported to us, the High Court has held that the governor did apply his mind in abundance and no fault found in the governor's actions as far as the order of August 1st is concerned, which gave sanction to prosecution of the Chief Minister. The petition was filed by the Chief Minister, remember, challenging that order on the 19th of August, and the High Court has dismissed that petition challenging the governor's order. So which means prosecution can go ahead against the Chief Minister. We'll have to wait for Pratibha Raman to come out of the court to give us more details if we can join her.
Right. In fact, we are hoping to get Pratibha live in just a moment from now, Veera, but I also want to tell you we're getting live shots of Chief Minister Siddaramaiah as he attends an event. It's the inauguration of a Mobility Exposition 2024, I'm told. Live visuals of the Chief Minister addressing an event in Bengaluru that are in fact coming in at the moment. But you know, an important point that was made, Veera, about the fact that this is essentially a judgment that not just has consequences for the Chief Minister himself, but also about the future of the government in Karnataka. How does this now play out politically? What are you picking up?
Look, with 135 plus MLAs and with the kind of majority that the Karnataka government enjoys, I think the Congress itself would seem extremely confident at the moment. However, this is a blow. How Siddaramaiah reacts to this, what the next stages are, how the Congress party reacts to it. So far, the entire cabinet has been united behind the Chief Minister, claiming this is an entire political witch hunt against him and that there was no illegalities or wrongdoings on his part. This has been the public stand taken by the entire Congress leadership in the state and the center. Now, post this, will there be a question mark over that? How will the internal dynamics of the Congress play? Because it is an open secret that there are leaders in the Congress party who have publicly and privately expressed their desire to occupy the post of Chief Minister. So far, of course, most senior leaders have said the post of Chief Minister is not vacant. Siddaramaiah has remained firm and strong as far as his position is concerned. I believe we can go across to Pratibha as well, who's just joining us from outside the High Court.
Yes, Pratibha, tell us what happened in court. Break it down for us.
Well, in fact, it was a quick presentation of the judge there, who was present sharp at 12 noon, and he began to narrate the facts and the findings as far as this case is concerned. He spoke about how the governor did apply his mind. In fact, the application of mind was in abundance, was one of the observations that was made by the judge there. He also went on to talk about how this petition that has been put forth by the Chief Minister challenging the permission for prosecution needs a definite investigation, and also spoke about how the governor can act independently as far as this particular case is concerned. The order does not suffer from non-application of mind. The facts narrated in the petition needs investigation, and hence the petition stands dismissed. Mr. Singhvi, representing the Chief Minister, did ask for extension in terms of the interim stay that was given as far as the jurisdictional courts are concerned, where it was a definite relief for the Chief Minister then. And he sought an extension for about 2 weeks, which was denied by the judge. And he said that by 2:30, this order would be put forth at the court's website, and soon after which the jurisdictional courts will be acting on this. The complainants or the respondents who did would first approach the court as well as the police and the governor in terms of seeking investigation in the Muda allegations. All of them are right now sub judice, and those will also continue as far as the jurisdictional courts are concerned. Now, the key question is what would be the counter strategy of the Congress government? Back to
Right. Pratibha, also, yes, Veera, go ahead.
Rishika, sorry, I just wanted to point out here that with this verdict, the political fallout, I think, is something that needs to be focused on at the moment. You had reported just now, and Pratibha has reported, that there were several measures taken by authorities to ensure that there was no gathering or no protest that was allowed post this verdict. They were taking several measures. But Pratibha, from what you're gathering, the Chief Minister's the Chief Minister, other Congress leaders, what are you picking up? Obviously, they were anticipating it. Obviously, they're bound to move to the Supreme Court, move the Supreme Court on this case. But interim, do you believe that the dissenting factions in the Congress party, which have openly vied or eyed the post of Chief Minister, do you see them striking now? Or do you believe that they're going to remain united till there is more clarity on this case from the Supreme Court?
Well, there is definitely going to be a counter strategy playing out by the Chief Minister. In fact, like you pointed out, Veera,
All right,
yes,
I'm going to interrupt you, Pratibha, for just a moment because we're getting a live reaction from the petitioner. Let's just listen in. Do stay with us.
I'll leave the field to my counsel to speak.
How do you see this order? See, the writ, I think we can move there, right? Yeah. Okay. So how do you see this order? The writ petition. Okay. The writ petition challenging the order of approval passed by His Excellency the Honorable Governor of Karnataka has been dismissed, and the summary of the judgment would be that the facts envisaged in the complaint would undoubtedly warrant investigation, firstly, and secondly, the act.
Yes, sir. Your first reaction after the verdict.
See, the summary that we have heard now is absolutely in expected lines. I just spoke a little while ago, and accordingly, the orders come. We were expecting.
If they approach the Supreme Court, what would be your
caveat? We filed a caveat. We have filed a caveat. Yes, sir.
How do you think the political fallout of this would be?
I'm not going to speak anything political at all. Political fallout is not my concern.
So that was Mr. T.J. Abraham refusing to talk about the political fallout, but has said that he has already applied a caveat as far as the Supreme Court is concerned, and that he is willing to fight it at the Supreme Court in case the Chief Minister knocks the doors of the top court as well.
Yes.
Back to you.
He was very confident that the verdict would go in his favor, even when you interviewed him earlier, Pratibha, ahead of the verdict. But just taking off from the question that Veera asked you, what are you picking up from your sources within the Congress at the moment? How do you think this is going to play out politically within the Congress party?
I'm not sure Pratibha was able to catch that question.
We seem to have lost that line. We seem to have lost that line.
Just to answer that question to you, from what I'm picking up, and I'll tell you this, it's not going to be an immediate... look, there are several factions, as I pointed out, within the Congress, which are waiting, which have been waiting. And remember that the timing of this case also comes post the 2024 election verdict. So there are several political factors at play, and Siddaramaiah is no easy nut to crack. Look, there will be internal jostling, but in public, the Congress, I think at least the state leadership, would put a united front. How this plays out in the next coming days, how Siddaramaiah himself tries to negate the fallout of this, on the legal side, one aspect of it, on the political side, another aspect of it, would be important to watch out for. Eventually, I think there will be potentially a change midterm. That's been the talk as far as the Congress is concerned. How, when, one has to wait and watch. This definitely puts him in a weaker position at the moment. Rishika.
Well, it definitely puts him in a weaker position, but there are going to be several questions now, Veera, that are going to be asked. And of course, you know, like you explained at the very outset, I think it's important to remember that this is not a verdict per se in terms of the Muda case. This is only a verdict that has gone against the Chief Minister in favor of the Governor, allowing for an investigation to take place. So I think that's important. There is no presumption of guilt.
You made the point of Arvind Kejriwal. This is being seen as a political case, Raj Bhavan versus state government. So the question of moral authority, when you are being probed, will come into light. And I think the crucial question that you pointed out, will he have the backing that Arvind Kejriwal and his Aam Aadmi Party gave to Arvind Kejriwal? Or will there be internal factions in the Congress? And there are internal factions in the Congress. I think it will unravel later than sooner.
Well, Delhi is a small state and Aam Aadmi Party is a much smaller party. The game is very different when it comes to the Congress. But Pratibha, both Veera and I were trying to ask you that question earlier. So if you can hear us at the moment, what are you picking up from your sources? How is this likely to hit the Congress politically speaking, or rather the defectors within the Congress or those eyeing the Chief Minister's post?
Well, even though they have been eyeing the Chief Minister's post, all of them have been maintaining one stand, and that is that the Chief Minister's post is not vacant right now. And they have also been suggesting that the High Command is also standing with the Chief Minister at this point in time, and that, the judge has already pointed out, yes, this paves the way forward with respect to the investigation in the Muda scam. And until then, whether the political future of Mr. Siddaramaiah as the Chief Minister of Karnataka will continue or not remains a key question right now. However, the Chief Minister as well as other Congress leaders have maintained that this will have absolutely no impact on Siddaramaiah's continuance as the Chief Minister, but all eyes are on how this would really pave the way in terms of the strategy that would play out. One is definitely to approach the Supreme Court, for which Mr. TJ Abraham has already answered, stating that this would definitely be fought at the Supreme Court as well. In fact, I have with me one other petitioner, Mr. Snehamai Krishna, who had also approached the police earlier as far as the Muda allegations go, all of them claiming that they would be fighting this at the Supreme Court as well. But in terms of this particular Muda allegation, the BJP definitely went hammer and tongs demanding the resignation of Chief Minister Siddaramaiah there. And we'll have to wait to see the kind of reactions that we would pick up from the BJP. We have with us the petitioners. I'm going live on NDTV. If you can just give us one or two reactions.
ಸರ್, ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಂಥ ಜಯ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಸತ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಜಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇದು ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯನವ್ರ ವಿಚಾರ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಥರ ಜನಪ್ರತಿನಿಧಿಗಳು ಯಾವ ತಮ್ಮ ಅಧಿಕಾರವನ್ನು ದುರ್ಬಳಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಅಕ್ರಮ ಆಸ್ತಿ ಗಳಿಸೋದು ಏನಿದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಎಚ್ಚರಿಕೆಯ ಗಂಟೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾಕೆಂತಂದರೆ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಉದ್ದೇಶವೂ ಅದೇ, ಈ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ಪ್ರಕರಣ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇದೇ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜನಪ್ರತಿನಿಧಿಗಳು ತಮ್ಮ ಅಧಿಕಾರವನ್ನು ದುರ್ಬಳಕೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಆಸ್ತಿಗಳನ್ನು ತಮ್ಮ ಆಸ್ತಿಗಳನ್ನಾಗಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ಬಯಲಿಗೆ ಇಳೋದು ಅಂಥವ್ರು ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ ಕೊಡಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ನನ್ನ ಉದ್ದೇಶ.
ನೀವು ನಿರಂತರವಾಗಿ ಹೋರಾಟವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ದಾಖಲಾತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ, ಜೊತೆಗೆ CM ಅವರ ಪಾತ್ರ ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆರೋಪಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಅಂದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎದುರಾಳಿಗಳು. ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ CM ಅವರ ಪಾತ್ರ?
ಸರ್, ಎಲ್ಲ ಆರೋಪಿಗಳು ತಾವು ಏನು ಅಪರಾಧ ಕೃತ್ಯ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಸಾಬೀತುಪಡಿಸೋ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಪಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆದರೆ ನಾವು ಅವರ ಪಾತ್ರ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಸಾಕ್ಷ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು
His point is definitely to suggest that the Chief Minister did misuse his powers in terms of the land allotment there, and this definitely proves to be a key example as far as those people in power as well as public servants are concerned. This would definitely work as a warning symbol as well as a wake-up sign for different other legislators as well. But we'll have to wait to see what would be the reaction that we would pick up from the Chief Minister there.
Well, that's a very important point that, all are essentially, yes, that's an important point that all are essentially equal in the eyes of the law, and what this verdict has essentially done today is allow for a free and fair probe to take place against the Chief Minister. But the larger question also remains not just what is going to happen within the Congress, but what's going to be the strategy of the BJP going forward, because they are going to continue to up the ante against the Chief Minister.
Rishi,
Well, they have been relentlessly protesting and demanding the resignation of the chief minister. And this would definitely be one of the milestones achieved by the BJP, has been one of the reactions that we've picked up from their end. But this would also pave the way forward in terms of the permission for prosecution that is lying with the governor as far as other opposition leaders are concerned. And that has been another strategy that would also be adopted by the Congress, because time and again they have been speaking about the preferential treatment given by the governor as far as the permission for prosecution is concerned. One, with respect to the chief minister, and two, with respect to the BJP leaders or the JDS leaders there.
Right, Veera, you wanted to come in.
Importantly, just adding to it, look, Rishika, there are two very important aspects one need to take out of the Muda controversy. What was Siddaramaia's great stature in Karnataka politics compared to, let's say, DK Shivkumar? It's that he had a clean image, that there was no charge of corruption against him, there was no case that he was trapped in. That is where the biggest weakness comes. It's that image that takes a dent with the Muda controversy, and that's why his negotiating power and his stature as the tallest leader for Karnataka, along with, B.S. Yediyurappa is the other leader as far as Karnataka politics is concerned, who has the stature of Siddaramaiah. Yediyurappa was tainted by corruption charges, and Siddaramaiah stood above the rest because he did not face a case of corruption. Now, when there is prosecution, remember that stature takes a dent. He is one of the longest serving chief ministers in Karnataka, the only chief minister to have completed a full 5-year term and returned to office. In the last, in many years, I'm not sure there is an example in history of a chief minister who's completed a full 5-year term and then returned to office. Why was that possible? Because of that stature. Now, that's what's taken a dent as far as the Muda controversy is concerned. The political jostling in public, there will be a united front put up by the Congress, a categorical united front put up by the Congress for the moment. But over a period of time, the political jostling will intensify in Karnataka.
Yes, also, political jostling in terms of, where I remember when the Congress won the election in Karnataka, there was a lot of talk between how the Congress is going to play that balancing act between a DK Shivkumar, who's known as the troubleshooter of the party, vis-a-vis Siddaramaiah, who's clearly the mass leader as far as the Congress in Karnataka is concerned. But having said that, Veera, just stepping aside from the politics of it all, at the moment, we're getting live visuals on our screens, and those, I'm told, are from outside Chief Minister Siddaramaiah's residence, where security has been beefed up. Now, as we said earlier as well, there's been a notification that has been issued. Bengaluru and other parts of Karnataka have been put on high alert following this verdict. So, Veera, that's a very real, a very real thing as well. The fact that there's been a high alert that's been sounded, the law and order situation in the city of Bengaluru and the state of Karnataka, are being closely monitored at the moment in order to avoid any untoward incidents, or even protesters have been asked to all go to Freedom Park.
I think
they are anticipating some kind of protest or trouble.
No, I think it's purely just a precautionary measure. Okay. I think given the fact that Siddaramaiah is at the helm of affairs, and Siddaramaiah is the administration is firmly with the Congress, and it's an extremely stable administration, I think that would be an extreme thought. It's I think an extreme, that would be something that we don't need to think about at this stage. But yes, as a precautionary measure, given the political sensitivity of this verdict, given the political implications of this verdict, just to avoid any kind of protest by any side, which can, disrupt traffic or result in any kind of problems locally is really the concern. Nothing beyond that. Okay, I think we can discount that possibility at the moment.
Okay, so more precautionary than anything else, but an alert anyway. Live visuals that we're getting to you from outside the Chief Minister's residence. Several angles to this big developing story on NDTV. It's a big setback for Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. Essentially, the Karnataka High Court today has validated the governor's decision of ordering a probe against the Chief Minister in the alleged Muda scam. This is a land allotment scam where land norms were violated and higher price land allegedly awarded to the Chief Minister's wife. Many questions now will need to be answered. A probe will be conducted against the Chief Minister. He'd, of course, petitioned the court saying that, the governor's order of ordering a probe should be stopped in its track. But no interim stay. The probe will begin. And there will be political ramifications for the Congress party. There will be rumblings within the Congress party and, of course, several attacks from the BJP. We'll get you a 360-degree view on this big developing story. Both Veera and Pratibha will continue to be live with us. Short break. We'll bring you a lot more on the other side. Stay tuned.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
लोन मिलेगा या नहीं ये आपके क्रेडिट स्कोर पे डिपेंड करता है। तो आज ही अपना क्रेडिट स्कोर चेक करें फ्री में पैसाबाजार.com पर। लोन की जरूरत कभी भी किसी को भी पड़ सकती है।
ठीक से एक्टिंग नहीं।
पैसाबाजार.com।
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code, and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future, you can't wish away health. It's time to become more resilient. "10 years of Banega Swasth India, we have grown and achieved so many milestones. And now I have a plan to beat the urgency, to stop breathing with difficulty, to relieve getting choked with inactivity. Energize our government, our environment, our society, and ourselves. Everyone, everywhere, every day. Banega Swasth India. One world hygiene.
लोन मिलेगा या नहीं ये आपके क्रेडिट स्कोर पे डिपेंड करता है। तो आज ही पैसाबाजार.com पर जाइए और अपना क्रेडिट स्कोर चेक कीजिए फ्री में, क्योंकि लोन की जरूरत कभी भी किसी को भी पड़ सकती है।
बस एक्टिंग करा लो इनसे।
पैसाबाजार.com, क्रेडिट स्कोर चेक, आदत अच्छी है।
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead.
From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show.
breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
Election sunrise is on the proverbial paradise. Jammu and Kashmir gets set to vote in assembly elections after a gap of 10 years.
For the BJP, it's a referendum on Article 370. For the Congress and regional parties, it's a battle for survival. An election that will go down in the history. Watch the most comprehensive, the most nuanced, and the most power-packed coverage only on NDTV.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Welcome back. You're watching our continuous coverage of the big Muda verdict that's been delivered in the Karnataka High Court. Essentially, the Karnataka High Court has allowed for a probe to be conducted against Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. The Muda scam, as it's called, involves discrepancies in land allotment. Some beneficiaries allegedly got more compensation. Land allotment was done in areas with inflated values, and the Karnataka Chief Minister's wife allegedly was allotted a higher price land. The allegation against the Chief Minister is that norms are violated to allot that higher price land to Chief Minister Siddaramaiah's wife. The Governor, Thawarchand Gehlot, had ordered for a probe, had given his assent for a probe to take place against Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. Chief Minister had petitioned the Karnataka High Court to essentially halt that probe against him, saying the governor has to act on the advice of the Council of Ministers. But the Karnataka High Court, in its wisdom, has said that no, there are exceptional circumstances under which the governor can essentially go ahead and order that probe. And therefore, now the Muda scam, as it's called, will be probed, and Chief Minister Siddaramaiah's role will be under the scanner. That's a nutshell of the developments that have taken place so far. What does this mean politically for the state of Karnataka? NDTV's Veera Raghav continues to be live with us. We're also joined by BJP spokesperson Prashant GS and Congress spokesperson Lavanya Balal. The BJP spokesperson, Prashant, to you first, your first reaction to the verdict in the Karnataka High Court.
See, we welcome the law of the land, we welcome the judgment, and we sincerely hope that Siddaramaiah stays true to his words, who in the past had spoken about Yediyurappaji when the matter came up in the case of Yediyurappa 10 years ago, saying, if at all something against me is sanctioned, I am the first one to resign. Now, we are waiting for CM's resignation. He ought to have resigned half an hour back, if not, so it's already delayed. So the man who claims himself to be a champion of social justice and that he has always stood up for poor, now he stands in the court as accused. The sanction has been given to conduct the inquiry. So impartial inquiry to be conducted, which means CM should step down immediately. There is no truth in it, and BJP would demand that CM should now resign immediately, because now he cannot say his appeal will be pending in the Supreme Court or he wants to file an appeal. He can take any legal recourse, but pending investigation, subject to the High Court order now, he is supposed to resign on moral, ethical and legal grounds as well.
All right, so the BJP there demanding that Chief Minister Siddaramaiah take the high moral ground and step down, considering the fact that he is now officially been pronounced as an accused in the Muda case. Lavanya Balal, how do you respond to what your counterpart has said?
We seem to have lost Lavanya Balal's link for a bit there, but I can tell you what Congress leaders are telling Prashant. The Congress leaders who I've spoken to off the record are telling me Yediyurappa took many months of cajoling, convincing by the BJP leadership to resign even after allegations were made against him. So Siddaramaiah still has time. They say due process is still pending.
No,
matter will go to the Supreme Court. Hang on, Prashant, I'm not a Congress spokesperson. I'm just putting in front of you the facts that's there. So the Congress leaders are saying, A, that there is still room for legal recourse. He can go to Supreme Court, A. B, they're saying that what the High Court has done is upheld the governor's right to sanction prosecution. And now the matter will go to the elected representatives court, which can order a probe into the chief minister. Let the probe findings come out. We have faith in the judicial process. If there is proven guilty, we will take action. Why are you jumping the gun right now? There are several BJP leaders against whom cases are pending who have not withdrawn. That's the line from the Congress already, Mr. Prashant. Are you jumping the gun and demanding minister's resignation?
No. We are not jumping the gun, because if at all Congress is saying that Yediyurappa ji took longer time, Siddaramaiah has always said he will not do it, which means he's always in the past said, look, I am unlike Mr. Yediyurappa, I would have resigned on the spot. Please replay the tapes of Siddaramaiah in the past. So therefore, now Congress now cannot say, we will wait for the proof. Why? Let him take that moral high ground and resign. And if he is actually clean like he proclaims him to be, let him come back and occupy the chair. If at all Congress is
There
willing
is
to
no
give him
moral
again.
ground in Indian
we
politics.
have more
There is no moral high
reactions.
ground.
We have more reactions coming in. We're unfortunate that the Congress spokesperson isn't here to answer those questions directly, but I think Veera has put forward what the view of the Congress party is generally. B.Y. Vijendra also holding a press conference at the moment. We have to dip in and listen in.
ರಾಜ್ಯಪಾಲರು ತಮ್ಮ ವಿವೇಚನೆಯನ್ನ ಬಳಸಿ ಅವರ ಮುಂದೆ ಇದ್ದಂತ ಮಾಹಿತಿಗಳನ್ನ ಕಲೆ ಹಾಕಿ ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಆಧಾರವಾಗಿ ಇಟ್ಟುಕೊಂಡು ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ರಾಜ್ಯಪಾಲರು ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯನವರ ವಿರುದ್ಧ
after considering all the facts that the governor had given permission to prosecute
ನೀಡಿದ್ರು. ಏನ್ ಬೊಬ್ಬೆ ಹೊಡೆದ್ರು ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ನವರು. ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳ ಆದಿಯಾಗಿ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ಸಿನ ಸಚಿವರು, ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ಸಿನ ನಾಯಕರುಗಳು, ರಾಜ್ಯಪಾಲರ ಇವತ್ತು ಕೇಂದ್ರದ ಕೈಬೊಂಬೆಯಾಗಿ ವರ್ತನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ರಾಜಕೀಯಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಬಳಸ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ರಾಜ್ಯಪಾಲರ ಮೇಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಗೂಬೆ ಕೂರಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಇವತ್ತು ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಉಚ್ಚ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಲಯದಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಜ್ಯಪಾಲರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ರಾಸಿಕ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅನುಮತಿಯನ್ನು ನೀಡಿದ್ರು. ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಉಚ್ಚ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಲಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವತಃ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ಇದನ್ನ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು.
The Chief Minister had challenged that order in the High Court.
ಉಚ್ಚ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಲಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಪರ ವಿರೋಧ ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ವಾದ ಆದ ನಂತರದಲ್ಲಿ
after listening to all arguments,
ರಾಜ್ಯ ಉಚ್ಚ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಲಯ ಇವತ್ತು ತೀರ್ಪನ್ನು ನೀಡಿದೆ. ಆ ತೀರ್ಪಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಉಲ್ಲೇಖ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
The High Court verdict is clear.
ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳ ಅರ್ಜಿಯನ್ನ ವಜಾ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಉಚ್ಚ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಲಯ ರಾಜ್ಯಪಾಲರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ರಾಸಿಕ್ಯೂಷನ್ಗೆ ಅನುಮತಿಯನ್ನು ನೀಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದು ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಕಾನೂನುಬದ್ಧವಾಗಿದೆ, ಕ್ರಮಬದ್ಧವಾಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನುವ ಅಂಶವನ್ನು ಉಚ್ಚ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಲಯ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ರಾಜ್ಯಪಾಲರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ರಾಸಿಕ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಬಹಳ ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾಗಿ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಧೀಶರು ಉಲ್ಲೇಖ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅಂಶ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಕಾನೂನು ಎದುರು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದೇ ಅನ್ನುವ ಅಂಶವನ್ನು ರಾಜ್ಯ ಉಚ್ಚ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಲಯ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಈ ಒಂದು ತೀರ್ಪು ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯನವರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಆಗ್ರಹವನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. ರಾಜ್ಯಪಾಲರ ಮೇಲೆ ಆರೋಪ ಮಾಡತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನ ಬದಿಗಿಟ್ಟು ರಾಜ್ಯ ಉಚ್ಚ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಲಯ ಏನು ತೀರ್ಪನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಗೌರವಿಸಬೇಕು. ಉಚ್ಚ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಲಯದ ತೀರ್ಪನ್ನ ಗೌರವಿಸಬೇಕು.
I request Chief Minister Siddaramaiah to honor the High Court's verdict.
ಆರೋಪ ಬಂದ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳ ಕುಟುಂಬವೇ ಇವತ್ತು ಮೈಸೂರಿನ ಮೂಡ ಹಗರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನೇರವಾಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ಆರೋಪ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ
The allegations are categorically against the Chief Minister and his family of having benefited the land allotment scheme.
ಸ್ಥಾನಕ್ಕೆ ರಾಜೀನಾಮೆ ನೀಡಬೇಕು.
I request the Chief Minister to honor the High Court verdict and resign from his Chief Minister. So the BJP officially demanding Chief Minister's resignation.
Bharatiya Janata Party has relentlessly fighting against this corrupt Congress government. From last 2 months, we have been fighting against corrupt Chief Minister Siddaramaiah ji. We have been fighting against this corrupt Congress government. In Estate Development Corporation scam, Chief Minister himself had agreed on the floor of the House. Yes, scam has taken place in Estate Development Corporation. More than 87 crores has been looted by Congress government. And the concerned minister Nagendra was forced to resign. And then after, when Bharatiya Janata Party took up the issue of Mysore Muda scam, where Chief Minister family is a direct beneficiary in this Mysore Muda scam, And the allegation is against the Chief Minister himself.
He's speaking in English.
When Bharatiya Janata Party and JDS wanted to discuss on the floor of the House, when the Assembly was in session, hurriedly, Chief Minister Siddaramaya ji, very smartly, he's constituted single-man inquiry commission by a retired High Court judge. Then itself, doubts arose. We demanded Chief Minister to answer our questions on the floor of the House. But Chief Minister Siddaramaya chose to run away from the Assembly. After we decided to carry out our protest, after we successfully planned Padayatra against the corrupt Chief Minister, Mysore Chalo, from Bangalore to Mysore, we carried out our Padayatra against the corrupt Chief Minister. During this period, respected Governor received more than 3 petitions, complaints against corruption that has taken place in Muda scam. Allegation was directly against the Chief Minister of Karnataka, Mr. Siddaramaya ji. So, respected Governor, after consultation and deliberation, respected Governor had given the sanction for prosecution. But Chief Minister and the Congress ministers challenged the order of the Governor, challenged the order of prosecution given by respected Governor. They challenged it in the High Court. So after a detailed argument that had taken place in the High Court, today High Court has come out with a judgment which has clearly said the petition challenged by the Chief Minister Siddaramaya has been dismissed by the Honorable High Court. At the same time, the judge has observed that all are equal before the law. All are equal before the law. So, Honorable High Court has upheld the order of prosecution given by the Governor. So, at this juncture, I demand Chief Minister Siddaramaya ji to resign from the post of Chief Minister immediately without any further delay. I demand Chief Minister Siddaramaya ji, without wasting any further time, he should tender his resignation immediately. ನೋಡಿ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ತೀರ್ಪು ಬಂದಿದೆ. ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಉಚ್ಚ ನ್ಯಾಯಾಲಯ ತೀರ್ಪನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವತ್ತೇನು ಮೈಸೂರಿನ ಮೂಡ ಹಗರಣದಲ್ಲಿ
All right, so that's the reaction coming in from the BJP, echoing once again the demand for the Chief Minister's resignation. We tried to get in a voice from the Congress spokesperson earlier, but we had lost her line. I believe Lavanya Balal is back with us. Lavanya, quick reaction from you. The BJP continues to echo the demand that the Chief Minister must take the high moral ground given this verdict and resign.
First of all, I think it is a little too premature for us to be discussing this because the judgment, whatever the High Court is going to give, is at around 2:30. At this point of time, they have only said that yes, the prosecution can be allowed against the Chief Minister. We stand by the statement that we had made earlier that the Governor should have waited for the judiciary probe before he took action. That is one of the statements that we would like to make. And when they are talking about the moral high ground, I think the moral high ground exists in India only for the Congress party and its leaders, and it does not exist for any of the BJP leaders. And it is pretty rich coming from B.Y. Vijayendra, who's been accused earlier of extortion. His father is accused right now in a POCSO case. So it's,
well, in all fairness, he doesn't occupy the chair of Chief Minister.
He was arrested and jailed for taking bribes when he was a Chief Minister. So when they demand resignation of Shri Siddaramaya ji, yes, it is their right to demand that. But we also ask, does the same apply for all the union ministers of the BJP government who have failed to deliver their, duties?
Lavanya, less as a spokesperson, more as a political observer, someone who understands Karnataka politics, and obviously you understand the Congress much better than all of us. There's been public statements by some leaders of aspirations to become chief minister. It's an open secret. Do you believe that this verdict puts Siddaramaiah in a weaker position, a little more unstable times for the Congress till you have clarity on this case, A, from the Supreme Court or from the elected representatives courts? Categorical answer.
Yeah, Raghav, see, the case is almost now 3-4 months old, and see, the intention of the BJP has always been to, to say that Mr. Siddaramaiah is also a corrupt leader. He is one of the biggest mass leaders for the Congress, for the state, and also for the Congress in South India. So once you tarnish his image, the BJP believes that it can destabilize the Congress party. But, like any other political party, things are in place in case there has to be any action taken, and the party is ready for it. And it does not weaken the party in any way, neither will be there any confusion within the party.
Right. Okay, I'm running out of time, but I request both our guests to stay on with us. We're going to slip into a very short break, and we'll be back with a lot more on this big developing story. Short break, back on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
लोन मिलेगा या नहीं ये आपके क्रेडिट स्कोर पर डिपेंड करता है। आज ही जाइए पैसाबाजार.com पर और अपना क्रेडिट स्कोर चेक कीजिए फ्री में, क्योंकि लोन की जरूरत किसी को भी कभी भी पड़ सकती है।
चल एक्टिंग थोड़ा भेल बनो।
ए आयो भाई पैसाबाजार.com।
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead.
From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show.
Breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital, Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzzed. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years. I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
लोन मिलेगा या नहीं ये आपके क्रेडिट स्कोर पे डिपेंड करता है। तो आज ही अपना क्रेडिट स्कोर चेक करें फ्री में पैसाबाजार.com पर। लोन की जरूरत कभी भी किसी को भी पड़ सकती है।
ठीक से एक्टिंग नहीं।
पैसाबाजार.com।
Election sunrise is on the proverbial paradise. Jammu and Kashmir gets set to vote in assembly elections after a gap of 10 years.
For the BJP, it's a referendum on Article 370. For the Congress and regional parties, it's a battle for survival. An election that will go down in the history. Watch the most comprehensive, the most nuanced, and the most power-packed coverage only on NDTV.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. the NDTV app. News that matters to you.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code, and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future, you can't wish away health. It's time to become more resilient. 10 years of Banega Swasth India, we have grown and achieved so many milestones. And now I have a plan to beat the urgency, to stop breathing with difficulty, to relieve getting choked with inactivity. Energize our government, our environment, our society, and ourselves. Everyone, everywhere, every day. Banega Swasth India. One world hygiene.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Good afternoon and welcome back. The Muda verdict in the Karnataka High Court is a big focus story. It's a setback for the Karnataka Chief Minister Siddique, as the High Court has now allowed for a probe to be conducted against him in the Muda case. We'll get you all the latest on that big story. First up, the headlines. The setback for Karnataka Chief Minister in the Muda case. The Karnataka High Court dismisses Chief Minister Siddaramaia's plea. He had challenged the governor's not for prosecution. The BJP calls for the Chief Minister's resignation. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister, I beg your pardon, hints at a cabinet reshuffle. Speculations rife over Udayanidhi's possible elevation. Stalin's son likely to be made Tamil Nadu Deputy Chief Minister. Mollywood MeToo case, actor Siddique's anticipatory bail plea has been rejected. Sources say the rape-accused actor is now mulling moving the Supreme Court. This is the SIT questions actor and CPIM MLA Mukesh in Kochi. And the accused dies in a shootout in a Thane horror autopsy today as the sex assault accused death triggers a political storm. Maharashtra government defense corps alleges a conspiracy. The opposition has, of course, alleged a conspiracy. The SIT has inspected the police van involved in the shootout of the Badlapur suspect. NDTV tracks the poll pulse from ground zero in the battle for Haryana. The big question on whether rebels will play spoil sport for the Congress and the BJP. NDTV speaks with Savitri Jindal, who slammed the BJP, and Chitra Sarwara, who slammed the Congress. Israel strikes a dozen more targets in Lebanon. Thousands flee their homes in South Lebanon. Schools have been shut in northern Israel and Lebanon as the conflict escalates. All right, the Karnataka High Court has dismissed a plea that was filed by the Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah challenging the grant of sanction under the Prevention of Corruption Act by the governor to initiate an investigation against him in the Muda land allotment case. The Chief Minister said that this is not something that the governor can in fact do. He challenged the very premise of the governor ordering the probe. The Karnataka High Court in its wisdom has said that under exceptional circumstances, the government is very well within its rights. The governor, I beg your pardon, is well within his rights to do so, and therefore dismissed his petition. Well, joining me at the moment, we have NDTV's Veera Raghav. He's been decoding what this essentially means for the bigger picture in Karnataka. We're also joined by Prashant GS, spokesperson of the BJP, Lavanya Balal, spokesperson of the Congress Party. Our colleague Pratibha Raman will also be live with us in just a moment. But Veera Raghav, to you first, big political implications in the light of the big verdict that's been delivered in the Karnataka High Court. Before you answer that, DK Shivkumar speaking. Let's listen in.
ಏನು ಒಂದು ಬದ್ಧತೆ ಇದೆ ಆ ಬದ್ಧತೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ ಅವರು ಮಾಡಿರೋಂಥ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಂತ ಕೊಡುಗೆನ ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ಅವ್ರ ಕೈಲಿ ಸಹಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಷಡ್ಯಂತ್ರ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಮಾತ್ರ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ ವಿಚಾರ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ನನಗಿರೋದು ಒಂದೇ ಕಿವಿ ನಾನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನೋಡಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಸೆಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಏನ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಇದೆ ತನಿಖೆ ಏನ್ ನಡೀತದೋ ನಡಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಆದೇಶ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ ಅದೇನು ವಿಚಾರ ನೋಡಿ
I will first have to check the details of the order. I cannot respond to any of your questions right now.
How will you fight it out, sir?
See, there is no question. My chief minister has not done anything wrong. He is not involved with any scam. It is a political conspiracy by the BJP to all of us, to all the opposition leaders in the country. This is what is going on. So there is no question of my chief minister has done anything wrong. They are creating problem. We stand by him. We support him. He is doing a good work for the country, for the party, and for the state.
Thank you, sir.
It's an important, Rishika, that's a very important political statement coming from the state Congress president, deputy chief minister, and most importantly, the biggest challenger to Siddaramaiah for the post of chief minister, DK Shivkumar, publicly saying, no question of any change. We are completely behind the chief minister. He's done nothing wrong. This is a political controversy. Expect this line to be taken by the Congress categorically. As I mentioned a short while ago, there will be a public display of categorical unity, and this will play out. However, the internal jostling will play out. That's a different issue, and perhaps the power balance and power equations will change at a later date. Remember, two very important aspects. One is the legal aspect. The other is the political aspect. What happens now? What the High Court has done by dismissing the chief minister's petition, challenging the governor's sanction of prosecution under PCA, is now allowed the court of elected representatives to order a probe. It's vacated the stay that it had given. The court of elected representatives will now order a probe against the chief minister based on the complaints that's been filed by the activists. The chief minister's legal recourse will be to move to the Supreme Court. What has the High Court based its orders on? As I said, 2004 Madhya Pradesh High Court order, which said that the governor can act despite the advice of the cabinet of ministers. Here, the Congress argued that the cabinet's advice may not be immediately assumed to be biased by the governor, and he should go by the advice of the Council of Ministers. So that's as far as the legal fallout is concerned. Politically, you've heard the first political statements coming from the BJP demanding the chief minister's resignation. The Congress putting up a very strong defense, saying that there's nothing wrong in this scam and there has been no illegalities and that they're backing the chief minister. It will be very interesting to watch how the internal political equations in Karnataka Congress and the adjustment politics, as it's called in Karnataka, between the several power lobbies in the state work out, play out over the next few days, few months.
And you know, Veera, one of the things I remember after that stupendous victory for the Congress party in the assembly elections, when there was question mark over who is going to be the next chief minister, as far as the Congress is concerned, one of the things that was stacked up in favor of Siddaramaiah was the fact that he had a clean, unscathed image. That, of course, along with, you know, the social justice pitch that he made and the fact that he's a tall mass leader. So that first point of that clean, unscathed image is something that now comes under scrutiny. It comes under question with the Karnataka High Court allowing for this investigation to take place. But before we bring you back into the conversation, before we go to the political guest, let's just quickly play out for our viewers the reaction that has come in from the BJP.
Today, High Court has come out with a judgment which has clearly said the petition challenged by the Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has been dismissed by the Honorable High Court. Honorable High Court has upheld the order of prosecution given by the governor. So at this juncture, I demand Chief Minister Siddaramaya ji to resign from the post of Chief Minister immediately without any further delay.
All right, Veera, let's also get in quick reactions from the Congress and the BJP. We have spokespersons of both parties on the broadcast. Lavanya Balal, to you first. The point that I had raised earlier of the fact that, the clean image of Siddaramaya, so to speak, has taken a hit as far as this case is concerned. Would you not agree?
That was the goal of the BJP, to tarnish Siddaramaya's clean, unscathed image. That was a political goal of the BJP all the while. They had to say he's not what he claims to be. And to a certain extent, yes, this looks like it's going to take a hit. But we are confident, though the High Court today has said an inquiry should take place, we are okay with it, because we also had ordered a judiciary probe. If we had anything to hide, or if we were scared, we wouldn't have ordered for a judiciary probe. So while the judiciary probe is on, so the investigation is what the court has ordered today. We welcome this, and we know he's going to come out unscathed. And the BJP is going to continue to make fresh allegations, new allegations against some other leader. That's the norm.
Okay, but be that as it may, the Chief Minister did file a petition against the governor ordering a probe. So there are questions that are being asked as well, right? That why did the Chief Minister go ahead and file this petition if he had nothing to hide? Veera, you wanted to come in.
No, that's an important point that you're making, because I think there is a larger context to this case beyond just the Chief Minister Siddaramaya's aspect, which is defining the governor's powers in terms of giving prosecution. This is the second point that we've had. As you want to respond to that, Prashant, I just want to bring the elephant in the room. Karnataka has often known great adjustment politics. There have been those who believe that there is a tacit understanding between some sections of the BJP leaders and Mr. Siddaramaya. Do you believe that these overt public statements that we hear calling for his resignation are just noise with no backing, and that eventually everyone will just watch how this plays out before taking a very strong and aggressive stand?
We are definitely not. We are up in arms against Siddaramaya's decision here not to resign. BJP will take it to a logical conclusion. We are going to even, probably if the party leadership decides and in the right thing, we may even protest to ensure that he resigns, because you cannot say now the governor was wrong. High Court has given an order saying that governor's sanction was valid and a probe will be ordered against Siddaramaya. So what else is left for Siddaramaya to say that he is clean? Because he was already involved in a Hublot watch controversy. Okay. It's not that he was completely clean. Compared to maybe other politicians, I think
Siddaramaya will be less worried about the BJP.
Maybe better off compared to his other Congress counterparts. Compared to the corruption of DK Shivkumar, maybe Siddaramaya was better. On a comparative note between Shivkumar and Siddaramaya, maybe Siddaramaya was better. No, obviously Siddaramaya is doing the catching up.
I know, Lavanya, that you want to come in. But I just want to say, Veera, over here that it's very interesting, because what we are seeing in terms of what our reporters are sending us from Delhi at least is that there are several press conferences that have been planned, BJP press conferences that have been planned in order to explain what this verdict essentially means. So there's going to be an echo for his resignation, and I'm told Priyank Kharge is speaking at the moment. Let's just listen into what he has to say.
We have Ambedkar's constitution with us.
All right, we'll try and replay that bite for you just as we cut to it. I think that reaction ended. We'll try and go back to Priyank Kharge.
Just to give you an indication of what Priyank Kharge's reaction was, that it was again saying that they believe in the constitutional process and they will wait for the legal process to play out. Expect that categorical reassertion to come from the Congress top leadership as well. In public, they're going to play and firmly stand behind Siddaramaya.
Okay, before I get Lavanya into the conversation, Veera, I had a quick question for you. As a political observer, as a senior journalist who's based in Karnataka for so long, I also want to understand from you, in the run-up to the Karnataka elections, Chief Minister Siddaramaya had said that he's going to hang up his boots after this election. Is this perhaps the end of the road as far as the political career of Siddaramaiah is concerned? Or do you think all of that was just posturing to get more votes? Okay, Prahlad Joshi of the BJP is speaking. I'm afraid we're going to have to cut to that.
All the people who are in power, that how they should act when there is a discretion power to them. As far as this detail is concerned, this was a land belongs to Mr. Ninga alias Jawar. Then it was notified by the Muda. Then it was denotified when the person who was holding the title, he was not at all alive. उस टाइम denotification हो गया. बट जब डीनोटिफिकेशन होके सिद्धरामैया के पत्नी के धर्मपत्नी के भाई के नाम पर उनको कन्वर्ट किया गया, मीन्स ट्रांजैक्शन हुआ, देन इट वाज डेवलप्ड बाय द मूडा एंड साइट सम ऑफ द साइट्स वेर आल्सो अलॉटेड द पब्लिक एट लार्ज, मीन्स जो भी उधर अप्लाई किया था सामान्य नागरिक, आम नागरिक, मैसूर के नागरिक, उनको अलॉटमेंट भी किया था. आफ्टर दैट इट वाज डीनोटिफाइड and it was transferred. This is a huge scam, and without political influence or the people who are in power, without their interference, it can't happen. And that is to land belongs to originally land belongs to ASC. तो इसीलिए मैं मुख्यमंत्री को आग्रह करता हूँ, I strongly urge Chief Minister should resign immediately and investigation should begin. And also I demand for the investigation by the CBI. This is what I want to say, nothing more to add.
So Mr. D.K. Shivakumar has come out and really defended Siddaramaiah. He says Siddaramaiah will come clean. Is Mr. D.K. Shivakumar, not, how do you think he's observing the situation?
He comes clean means he has also in a way approved that there should be investigation.
The Congress has also alleged that the governor is being biased.
The governor, these people were alleging that governor is biased. As I initially itself made my remark, the governor they tried to threaten the governor, but now the court has given a verdict. Whether do they have belief in the court or not? They should clarify that. इन्होंने क्या बोला था, गवर्नर है नॉट अप्लाइड द माइंड, गवर्नर को अथॉरिटी नहीं है, गवर्नर पार्टिजान मैनर में एक्ट किया है, ये सब देखते हुए पूरा हियरिंग करते हुए कोर्ट ने वर्डिक्ट दिया है. और सुप्रीम कोर्ट का भी कई इसमें जो पहले का रूलिंग वगैरह है, केस लॉज वगैरह है, ये सब उधर दिया गया है. ऑन दैट बेसिस ओनली हाई कोर्ट हैज एक्टेड.
You think there will be further problems for the Congress party if there is a constitutional crisis with the Chief Minister resigning? Because, who wants to become the next Chief Minister?
No, that is, I have made n number of times clear that BJP and state BJP and national BJP, we never want that the entire Congress government should be toppled. We do not have any of such intention. Let them choose their own leader and let any person from the Congress person can become the Chief Minister. We don't have any problem. They are saying that we are trying to destabilize the government. No, we are not going to intervene that. We are not going to touch that. We are not interested to do that. What they tell is last time hua, aapko kya?
All right, that is Union Minister Prahlad Joshi, senior leader from Karnataka in the BJP. He has in fact now come out and said that not just are they demanding the resignation of the Chief Minister, but the BJP is now also demanding a CBI probe into the entire Mudda case. So that's a big development that is coming in at the moment. Before I take this back to my guests and to Veera, let's just also quickly try and listen in to what Priyank Kharge had to say.
Well, I am personally not very surprised. The idea of using Using the governor or misusing the governor's office was to ensure this happens. It is a standard operating procedure. It's a playbook that they have been doing in Delhi, Jharkhand. They're trying it in Tamil Nadu as well. They're trying it in Kerala as well. So I'm not surprised by the verdict. And we believe that there is still the Constitution of India that will protect us. They might have the governor on their side, but we have the Constitution of India on our side. So we will appeal. We'll fight it out in the Supreme Court and in the Court of the People.
So what is going to be the next step of the government?
No, we'll see. There is nothing that it is just permission for investigation and everything. Let's see what happens.
Are you planning to go to the Supreme Court after that?
No, we will. We will appeal. I mean, this is nothing but abuse of the governor's office. This is misusing the governor himself. The governor of Karnataka is acting like a station house officer for the central government and for the BJP.
It's the BJP.
All right, so that's a big development coming in at the moment. Priyank Kharge, of course, responding to these charges as well. And like Veera, you were raising the important point earlier about, what this judgment of the Karnataka High Court essentially means as far as the role of the governor is concerned. I think that's something that Priyank Kharge has also talked about. But very interestingly, the BJP now has demanded a CBI probe. Let's quickly get in the Congress spokesperson first to respond to it. Prahlad Joshi. I know you want to come in, Mr. Prashant, but we just heard from Prahlad Joshi demanding a CBI probe. Let me quickly get in a Congress reaction.
Serious objection to Priyank Kharge's statement here.
Okay, I'll come to you. I'll come to you in just a moment. Lavanya Balal.
Veera Raghav was also making a point about the governor's role and everything, the definition of governor's role. When Congress party keeps saying that he is overreached and he's taken decisions, we also would like to draw the attention of the media and the nation that the governor has sat on the cases against H.D. Kumaraswamy and Mr. B.S. Yediyurappa in the Ganganagar land scam, and he's not taken an action at all. So he chose to take an action based on an activist's complaint. But he's chosen not to react to the Lokayukta's case against these two former chief ministers, and there is no action taken against them at all. So this is where we say he has been overreaching.
No, but Lavanya, in this case, it's categorical. The High Court has held categorically
Veera,
that the governor is right. In this case, I don't think the Congress has a defense. That is concerned.
Okay, let Prashant come in. Let Prashant come in. He's been listening very patiently. Prashant had a point to make.
No, Lavanya, I'll take you on. Wait.
I'm going to come right back to you, Mr. Prashant. Go ahead.
Wait.
No. Before Prashant speaks, Prashant, I would like to set the record for you. Twice in the debate, you said he is an accused and he is not going to resign. Please do not jump forward and make statements which are incorrect. I request you.
Okay, I'll answer you. Now that you've said,
accusations.
I'm on record telling you, we take strong exception to Priyank Kharge's statement here because his statement is nothing but contempt of court. It is contempt of court because all that he has stated today is
please take legal action.
Stooge and other things, which means after the Karnataka High Court making it clear that governor has applied his mind and he is right in ordering for the probe and the investigation. Even after that, if Priyank Kharge, the dynasty politician,
you have a
has
habit
got
of
the guts to do this, it is only because of the privilege he enjoys being Mallikarjun Kharge's son and who have been abusing the constitution and the courts because Congress doesn't believe in the courts. Now,
let's keep
for
this
me to
clear.
say whether Siddiramaya is accused or not.
I am requesting NDTV.
Now, let's not divert issues. I think
Allow me.
Dynasty politicians cannot claim that.
Prashant, you've raised your objection. Prashant, you've raised your objection. Let me get Lavanya to respond to you. Go ahead, Lavanya.
I would like to reiterate, Prashant, you have a habit of misconstruing statements. Mr. Priyank Kharge was talking about the governor's role. He was not talking about the High Court's orders. Please do not misconstrue statement. I will personally ensure that there is, actions taken against false statements made on national channels. Prashant, you cannot do this. I request you, please do not make false statements, Prashant. You are
No false statement.
misconstruing
It was a
and
clip
trying to
played out by
create
the
a narrative.
NDTV,
You know,
which is very clear. He
I
states that this is a political conspiracy.
NDTV
cannot
tell our
After the High Court
producers if we can
judgment,
play out that Priyank Kharge
no
bite once
politician
again.
can say
Since
this is a
there is so
political
much debate
conspiracy.
and discussion over it, over
Now the Congress
misunderstanding
cannot
and
say it's a political
misconstruing.
angle. Governor is a stooge in the
Can we
hands
play
of
out the
central
can we
government.
play
He
out
cannot
the
stay
Priyank
there,
Kharge? Can we
especially
play out
after
the
the High
Priyank
Court
Kharge
order.
bite again? Okay, let's just listen into what Priyank Kharge said.
Well, I am personally not very surprised. They have the idea of using the governor or misusing the governor's office was to ensure this happens. It is a standard operating procedure. It's a playbook that they have been doing in Delhi, Jharkhand. They're trying it in Tamil Nadu as well. They're trying it in Kerala as well. So I'm not surprised by the verdict. And we believe that there is still the Constitution of India that will protect us. They might have the governor on their side, but we have the Constitution of India on our side. So we will appeal. We'll fight it out in the Supreme Court and in the Court of the People.
So what is going to be the next step of the government?
No, we'll see. There is nothing that it is just permission for investigation and everything. Let's see what happens.
Are you planning to go to the Supreme Court after that?
No, we will. We will appeal. I mean, this is nothing but.
I think that pretty much settles it. Veera, you wanted to come in.
Rishika, categorical. Priyank Kharge is talking about the misuse of the position of the
He is
governor.
not surprised by the verdict. What does he mean by it?
Prashant,
What does
you're
he
a
mean by
lawyer.
it? He is not surprised by the verdict. Is he casting aspirations on the Honorable High Court judge?
Okay.
Prashant, not one iota of that
verdict?
statement spoke about anything. Let's not divert the issue here. He is categorically taking on the governor. He has said there is legal recourse. They will go. There is constitutional recourse.
What's
They
the
will go
second
to
part of it? What's the first part of
Let's
it?
focus
When
on
he
the
says that he's
stronger
not
issue
surprised
at
by the
hand,
verdict.
Prashant.
Okay.
Prashant, let's focus on the stronger issue.
You've raised questions, and you raised several important questions, including the question of contempt of court, and which is why we deliberately prayed out that bite for our viewers. You put your point forth. I think the Congress has responded. Veera has tried to clear the air, but ultimately we leave it for the viewer to decide what you make of that. The Congress, of course, has raised several questions on the conduct of the government, on the conduct of the governor, I beg your pardon, also accusing the BJP of a playbook. It is well within the rights of the BJP to counter that, but that's the charge, or rather the counter charge that the Congress is making in Chief Minister Siddaramaia's defense at the moment. Is it going to cut ice in the eyes of the people, Veera? That's the big question, because like I said,
Rishika,
that
the most important
image of Siddaramaiah does take a hit with today's verdict.
Absolutely, it's taken a hit as far as the Muda controversy itself is concerned, as I mentioned earlier in your show. But I think let's set the record categorically straight. The High Court, in its wisdom, has categorically said the governor was well within his right. So again, the accusation you cannot make of misuse here of the governor's office, because the High Court, in its wisdom, has said the governor is right.
Exactly my point.
In granting prosecution. I think that's pretty much the limited legal point, which can be challenged in a court or Supreme Court. And this sets a precedent like the 2004 Madhya Pradesh High Court order that the governor can prima facie grant sanction for prosecution of a chief minister, even if the cabinet advises him against it.
All right. So how does this play out legally? What happens politically? Many unanswered questions as far as the big developments in Karnataka are concerned. Thank you all very much for joining us. We're going to slip into a very short break. We'll bring you more news on the other side. To stay with us.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
Setback for the Karnataka Chief Minister as the High Court dismisses the Chief Minister's petition. Siddaramaiah challenged the governor's nod for prosecution. The BJP now demands a CBI probe and the CM's resignation. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister hints at the possibility of a cabinet reshuffle. Speculation once again rife over the possible elevation of Udayanidhi Stalin. Well, actor Siddique's anticipatory bail plea has been rejected. Sources say the rape accused is now mulling moving the Supreme Court. This as the SIT now questions actor and CPM MLA Mukesh in Kochi in the Malayalam MeToo allegations. And Thane horror accused dies in a shootout. An autopsy has been ordered today. The sex assault accused death triggers a political storm with the government defending cops and the opposition alleging a conspiracy.
लोन मिलेगा या नहीं ये आपके क्रेडिट स्कोर पे डिपेंड करता है। तो आज ही पैसाबाजार.com पर जाइए और अपना क्रेडिट स्कोर चेक कीजिए फ्री में, क्योंकि लोन की जरूरत कभी भी किसी को भी पड़ सकती है। बस एक्टिंग करा लो इनसे। पैसाबाजार.com, क्रेडिट स्कोर चेक, आदत अच्छी है।
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead.
From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show.
Breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
लोन मिलेगा या नहीं ये आपके क्रेडिट स्कोर पर डिपेंड करता है। आज ही जाइए पैसाबाजार.com पर और अपना क्रेडिट स्कोर चेक कीजिए फ्री में, क्योंकि लोन की जरूरत किसी को भी कभी भी पड़ सकती है।
चल एक्टिंग थोड़ा भेल बनो।
ये आयो बात बोल। पैसाबाजार.com।
Election sunrises on the proverbial paradise. Jammu and Kashmir gets set to vote in assembly elections after a gap of 10 years.
For the BJP, it's a referendum on Article 370. For the Congress and regional parties, it's a battle for survival. An election that will go down in the history. Watch the most comprehensive, the most nuanced, and the most power-packed coverage only on NDTV.
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code, and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future, you can't wish away health. It's time to become more resilient. "10 years of Banega Swasth India, we have grown and achieved so many milestones. And now I have a plan to beat the urgency, to stop breathing with difficulty, to relieve getting choked with inactivity. Energize our government, our environment, our society, and ourselves. Everyone, everywhere, every day. Banega Swasth India. One world hygiene.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always bustling. It's literally a city that never sleeps.
And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru bus.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
And breaking news coming in, CPIM MLA Mukesh has now been arrested in the Mollywood MeToo case. Remember, he has been accused of sexual exploitation and rape, after which there was a chorus for him to step down from his position. But the MLA remained evasive, and now Kerala police has arrested CPIM MLA Mukesh. A rape case has also been registered against him, and actor Mukesh has now finally been arrested by the police. Remember, there was a big chorus. Eminent personalities also wrote against him and demanded his resignation, after which now he has been finally arrested by the police. An actress had accused him of sexual abuse, after which he has been arrested. The SIT had been investigating the allegations against him, which were of sexual abuse by CPIM MLA Mukesh. Has finally been arrested. The actor turned politician has also been charged with the non-bailable offences, including rape and use of criminal force against women with intent to outrage her modesty. Now, CPIM MLA Mukesh has been arrested by Kerala police in the Mollywood MeToo case, where several women came forward and alleged that how they have been sexually harassed by powerful people in the Malayalam industry, in which one of the name and the big name was actor turned politician CPIM MLA Mukesh. There was a chorus, but CPIM said that Mukesh will not resign from his post and he will not step down. There was a chorus for him to step down, and also the allegations that were leveled against him of grievous nature have now been investigated further, after which he has been arrested by the police. The SIT was investigating. The SIT was constituted by Kerala government after several women came forward and said how they have been sexually exploited in the Mollywood industry, the Malayalam industry. The actor turned politician has been charged with non-bailable offences, including rape and use of criminal force against women with intent to outrage her modesty. Now, the case was registered under IPC sections as the offence allegedly occurred before the new Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita came into force. The case has further intensified. The demand for Mukesh's resignation was also, the pressure was mounting from the opposition against the ruling party, where everyone was demanding that actor Mukesh should resign from his position. And now, finally, he has been arrested by the Kerala police. My colleague Ishika Verma is also joining me for more details. Ishika, you have been covering this story from day one. Tell us what will the political ramifications of this arrest will be.
Well, first, certainly, it is a big development in the case. The CPIM MLA, Mukesh, in fact, has now been arrested by the Kerala police. In fact, today itself, we saw how, the police, in fact, the SIT team was interrogating him in Kochi, in Kerala, in relation to this particular case that was filed against him. And now he has been arrested. Now, remember, a meeting, in fact, when the meeting was called by his party to take a decision on him, the CPM, in fact, had decided not to ask for his resignation. So after this big development, what will be the party stand? And more so ever, will the Chief Minister of Kerala now be speaking on Mukesh? That certainly remains to be seen. But this certainly will in fact result in even more protest on the streets of Kerala, because the opposition, since day one, they have been protesting against this and demanding his resignation, and that certainly is going to intensify. Over to you.
Right. Ishika, he will, has he got bail, because he had also sought anticipatory bail? Has he got bail in this case? Do you have any clarity on that?
Yes, certainly we have seen that he had in fact approached the Ernakulam, Principal Sessions Court earlier, and there in fact he had got a bail in this particular case. But in that, the condition that was mentioned there that he needs to be available for questioning in this matter. But now, in fact, we did see that the Kerala police was in fact planning to summon him for interrogation, and that was done, and he has been arrested. But certainly, since he already has the anticipatory bail, in this case, certainly is going to be released soon. That is certainly, the clarification that we are getting. But, the bigger implication after this will be that the opposition will now continue to attack the government. The protest on the streets of the Kerala is certainly going to intensify. Over to you.
Okay, so he got anticipatory bail in this case, but he will continue to cooperate as per the condition of this bail was, as my colleague was telling me, that Mukesh has already got anticipatory bail in the case, but he will continue to cooperate as was the condition while the court granted him bail. My colleague Uma Sudhir is also joining me on the phone line. Uma, a big political development. CPIM MLA Mukesh has been arrested in the MeToo case, but he will get bail as he already had approached the court and sought the anticipatory bail.
So the anticipatory bail is something that they had moved for earlier, along with several others who had named in the case. So, of course, each of their bail petitions was separate, but the special investigation team has, in fact, on Tuesday, formally arrested the actor, who is also the Kollam MLA. And there was, of course, a lot of political pressure as well, because he is from the ruling party, and even the CPI, their ally in the left front, was under the kind of, they were putting pressure that there should be action, there should be FIR, and there should be an arrest, etc. So he has been released on bail shortly after the arrest was registered, is what we understand. And the AIG, Pungurali, who interrogated him at the coastal police headquarters in Ernakulam. Ernakulam is, of course, it's in Kochi, just by the side of Kochi. And that's where he had earlier been granted anticipatory bail by the Ernakulam Principal Sessions Judge, and that he will appear before the investigating officer every day at, whenever he is called in at 9 a.m. and he will remain there. So the whole condition is that he must continue to cooperate with the investigating agencies in this particular case. Everyone does understand that there is a time lapse between the happenings and the complaint itself, but that is something that we are seeing in several of these cases of MeToo as well. Several years pass by, and afterwards the complaint is coming in. So what kind of evidence in terms of forensics they will be able to get is one part of it. But the second part of it is, of course, that these women are coming out and speaking about what they have alleged to be cases of sexual harassment. And Mukesh arrest also coming as something that the complainant says she is satisfied with the proceedings of the case.
Right. Uma and Ishika, thank you so much for joining us on this breaking news development, and we will be continuing to keeping a close track, as now it has also given ammunition to the opposition, which has been claiming that CPIM MLA needs to be probed further in the case. Now, shifting our focus to Tamil Nadu, will Udayanidhi Stalin become the Tamil Nadu's Deputy Chief Minister? Well, speculations are rife after Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin dropped a big hint. He said the cabinet reshuffle will happen soon and nobody will be disappointed. Listen in to exactly what he had to say.
சார், ரொம்ப நாளாவே இந்த அமைச்சரவை மாற்றம், அப்புறம் அமைச்சர் உதயநிதி அவர்களுக்கு துணை முதலமைச்சர் பதவி அப்படிலாம் இருக்கு. நீங்களும் விரைவில் சொன்னதை செய்வோம் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிருக்கீங்க. அதுக்கு ஒரு பதில்.
My colleague Sam Daniel is joining me. Sam, speculations are rife from past, I think, 1 month or two, and you have been tracking it and giving to us all the news related to whether there will be a cabinet reshuffle, whether Udayanidhi Stalin will be taking oath as Tamil Nadu Deputy Chief Minister. Is it happening or not? A simple, plain and clear. Tell me and give me a clarity on it.
It appears that the party and the Chief Minister in particular has made up his mind to elevate his son as his deputy in the government. But the strategy seems to be to let it happen gradually, to let words spread in the form of rumors, in the form of demands within the party, and then to make it appear that there is overwhelming demand within the party, and because of that, the Chief Minister is now elevating to quell criticism of family politics. That appears to be the strategy the Chief Minister and the ruling DMK is following now. Today he said there will be change in the cabinet, there will be no disappointment. Whether the disappointment refers to expectations and demands from within the party to elevate Udayanidhi, or is it regarding the fear among certain senior ministers that they may lose their position to pay way for younger ministers? That's something still ambiguous. Regarding Udayanidhi, he is a first-time MLA, an actor-turned-politician, and before he became the minister, his name was linked to the organization of the Chess Olympiad in Chennai. Later, as sports minister, he had also brought the Hockey Asian Games to Chennai, beach volleyball, and the more recent Formula 4 to Chennai. He's being projected as a minister who was turning Chennai into an international sporting hub. Politically, the party sources say Udayanidhi's leadership in this kind of a position is required, particularly to take on actor Vijay, who's all set to make his debut in electoral politics in the 2026 assembly elections. And they also credit Udayanidhi for the party's sweep in the 2019 and 2024 elections through his campaign across Tamil Nadu. But of course, this would lead to criticism because if elevated, Udayanidhi would be superseding several senior ministers in terms of becoming Deputy Chief Minister, including Durai Murugan, a senior minister who has been working not just with his father but also with his grandfather during Karunanidhi's tenure as Chief Minister. And that's something we'll have to wait and watch. Whether his elevation would be seen to be out of place quite early, would it really upset the apple cart within the DMK? So far, nobody is openly criticizing, but that's the worry. And to quell that, now the party seems to be gradually spreading this kind of speculation so that it will appear at one point in time there is overwhelming demand within the party. Lastly, the larger question, of course, is would this lead to family politics, promotion of dynastic politics? The DMK sources claim Udayanidhi is a democratically elected MLA. It's the prerogative of the Chief Minister to decide who would be his deputy. But the larger question, of course, in a mature democracy, can this be allowed for a particular family to have all the power within its family?
Well, it's certainly, Sam, and that's what the argument from the opposition side has been. If Udayanidhi Stalin gets the post of the Tamil Nadu Deputy Chief Minister, then the one charge that the opposition has been making is that nepotism or parivarvad in the family and in the opposition ranks is now elevating. Thank you so much, Sam. Very interesting take from all that rumors and speculation that are rife after this big hint that has been dropped by Tamil Nadu Chief Minister. Thank you, Sam, for joining us and sharing those details. Now, shifting our focus to Maharashtra, where Thane molestation horror has taken more twists and turns as Maharashtra sex assault accused has been shot dead. The SIT is probing how the accused died exactly, but the political storm over Thane accused death is now intensifying, with Maharashtra opposition now crying a conspiracy behind his death. While Maharashtra government justifies cop's action, they said that accused died while the cop was retaliating in self-defense. The cops say that he snatched a revolver from the police official and then shot himself. But then the police also say that in self-defense, they acted and that's how he died. But there is a chorus from the opposition. They say it's a conspiracy. The real links behind that, the event that took place in jail is under probe, and the fair probe should take place not under the Maharashtra government, but even courts should intervene and hold this probe. My colleague will be joining for more details, but before that, sample the political reactions that are coming in.
कायदा कहता है उसकी कस्टडी होना चाहिए, उसकी मालूमात होना चाहिए, कोर्ट में जाना चाहिए और उसका रिजल्ट जो न्यायालय देगा उसी तरीके से उसको सजा होना चाहिए। लेकिन कल देखे जाए तो वो जो गाड़ी में बैठा है उसने पुलिस का रिवॉल्वर छीना है। इसमें पुलिस भी थोड़ी कमियां उनकी दिखने में आई। उसने जब पुलिसों के ऊपर रिवॉल्वर तानी और गोली चलाई तो उसने उसका जो रिप्लाई जिसको बोलते हैं तो वो करने के डिफेंस में उन्होंने जो फायर किया उसमें उसकी मौत हो गई।
My colleague Radhika Ramaswamy is joining me. Radhika, take us through what's happening exactly in the case right now. How is the SIT, which is probing this retaliatory fire case, is going on and taking the investigation forward?
That's right. Death of Akshay Shinde in alleged retaliatory firing. He was, of course, an accused in the Badlapur sexual assault case. This has obviously led to a political slugfest of sorts. We did hear reactions from both the opposition as well as the ruling party, while the ruling party, Mahayuti, continues to maintain that this was an act of self-defense as far as the police is concerned. The opposition leaving no stone unturned and attacking the state government, saying that this was done deliberately to protect some of the higher-ups and powerful people, including the trustees of that particular school who are currently absconding. They were also named as accused, but they are absconding. In order to protect them, this shootout happened is something that the opposition has been maintaining, and they've also called for a judicial probe as far as the entire investigations into the death of Akshay Shinde is concerned. Of course, they maintain that this happened at 6 p.m. yesterday. Initially, it was Akshay who snatched the gun and attacked one of the police officials. He was hurt in his thigh, and later another cop, in fact, fired back at him, after which, of course, Akshay succumbed to his injuries. Now, an SIT has been formed by the state government. They are looking into it. They are investigating all the details with respect to the case. Forensic team was at the spot in the morning. All the police officials who were there at the spot also being questioned. Post-mortem will also be conducted, so there will be more clarity post the post-mortem as well. Investigations being looked into all angles is something that the police officials are telling, but judicial probe is something that the opposition is demanding. And very interestingly, Bombay High Court had taken suo motu cognizance as far as this entire Badlapur case, sexual assault case of the toddlers are concerned. So there is a possibility that High Court may take cognizance of the death of the accused in the case as well. October 1 is when Bombay High Court will be hearing the other matter, and there is a possibility court could take cognizance and may perhaps order judicial inquiry into the death of Akshay Shinde, who was the prime accused as far as this serious case is concerned.
Radhika, thank you so much for joining us and sharing those details. Now, assembly elections in Haryana are marked by significant internal dissent, with rebel candidates posing challenges to both BJP and Congress. Savitri Jindal, the chairperson of OP Jindal Group and an independent candidate contesting from Hisar in Haryana seat, is claiming that she will win the seat and has released her own Sankalp Patra, in which she says that Hisar will be taken to new heights under her. What exactly she had to say? Listen in.
The contest of Hisar this time is quite interesting. It's not a bipolar, usual BJP Congress contest. One of the richest women in Asia, Savitri Jindal ji, is here. She's a seasoned politician and she's fighting as an independent this time. Interesting story of how that happened, but in Hisar at this moment, it seems that it's just not triangular, but she has made it quite an interesting contest, and a lot of people think that she may mark the chances of the main political parties. She's joining us at this moment. Ma'am, thank you so much for speaking to us. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया हमसे बात करने के लिए. सबसे पहले मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूँगा, सावित्री जिंदल बड़ा नाम है. हिसार के लिए फॉर्मर मिनिस्टर रह चुकी हैं, आप MLA रह चुकी हैं, आपका परिवार का बहुत बड़ा नाम है. तो ऐसी क्या इस बार स्थिति बनी कि आपको एक इंडिपेंडेंट के तौर पर चुनाव लड़ना पड़ रहा है?
देखिए, मैंने 10 साल मैं पॉलिटिक्स के अंदर रही. शुरू में जिंदल साहब चुनाव लड़ते थे. उनके जाने के बाद मैं लोगों के बीच में आई और बीच में एक बार मैं चुनाव हार गई थी, 2014 वाला. 19 में फिर मैंने चुनाव नहीं लड़ा. अब क्या, मेरे सभी लोगों का यही राय थी सबकी कि आपको चुनाव लड़ना है, मेरे हिसार परिवार की. तो अब क्या, उनके कहने से मैं इस चुनावी मैदान में कूद पड़ी.
मैं अभी जब अंदर आ रहा था आपके ऑफिस में तो मैंने देखा एक तस्वीर है जिंदल साहब की राजीव गांधी के साथ. बहुत साल पुराना आप लोगों का कांग्रेस के साथ रिश्ता रहा. पिछले चुनाव में हमने देखा कि उस वक्त आप नवीन जिंदल जी भी और आप भी बीजेपी में शामिल हुए और अब आप वापस इंडिपेंडेंट लड़ रही हैं. तो क्या ये इसको बगावत के तौर पर देखा जाए बीजेपी के खिलाफ, और अगर आपको वापस आना था चुनाव लड़ने के लिए तो क्या कांग्रेस आपके लिए रास्ता नहीं था?
देखिए, बगावत वाली कोई बात नहीं है. बस मैंने जो अपने हिसार परिवार के मेरे लोगों ने जो कहा, मैंने उनका कहना माना. उन लोगों का यही था कि हमें कुछ भी हो चुनाव लड़ना है. तो आपको मालूम है कि बीजेपी से डॉक्टर साहब लड़ रहे हैं और कांग्रेस से राणा साहब को टिकट मिली है, तो मेरे लोगों ने यही कहा कि चुनाव लड़ना ही लड़ना, छोड़ना नहीं है। तो इंडिपेंडेंट के अलावा कोई चारा नहीं था, तो मैं उनके कहने से।
किसको आप अपनी मेन ऑपोजिशन या मेन टक्कर मान रही हैं? कांग्रेस से ज़्यादा सीधी लड़ाई है, बीजेपी से सीधी लड़ाई है हिसार में?
देखिए, मेरी किसी से कोई लड़ाई नहीं है। हम लोग अपना चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं और ये मेरा चुनाव नहीं, मेरी हिसार परिवार का चुनाव है। वो लोग अपना चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं।
आपको मजबूत स्थिति में देखा जा रहा है और कुछ लोग ये भी कह रहे हैं कि देखिए बीजेपी कहीं ना कहीं शायद चाहती थी कि आपको टिकट मिले, लेकिन अपने कैंडिडेट का टिकट नहीं काट पाए, तो अगर उनके कैंडिडेट कमज़ोर पड़ते हैं तो सावित्री जी जीत भी जाएंगी तो बीजेपी का समर्थन करेंगी।
नहीं, अभी तक ऐसा कुछ भी सोचा नहीं है और ये मेरा हिसार परिवार निर्णय लेगा कि क्या करना है। मैं तो इस समय हिसार परिवार की तरफ से ही उनकी प्रत्याशी हूँ। उन्होंने मुझे चुनाव मैदान में खड़ा किया है और वही मेरा चुनाव भी लड़ रहे हैं।
अगर ऐसी स्थिति बनती है कि कांग्रेस और बीजेपी दोनों को आपके समर्थन की आवश्यकता हो तो
तब जो प्रभु इच्छा होगी।
लेकिन नवीन जिंदल जी अभी भारतीय जनता पार्टी से सांसद हैं कुरुक्षेत्र से, आपकी कैंपेन में क्या वो भी आने वाले हैं? क्योंकि उनके लिए बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाएगा, अपनी माता जी के लिए कैंपेन करें और वैसे भारतीय जनता पार्टी के सांसद हैं।
देखिए, उनको उनकी जो पार्टी आदेश देगी नवीन जिंदल वही करेंगे। और यहाँ पर मेरे हिसार परिवार के मेरे सारे बेटे लगे हुए हैं, सब मेरे लिए चुनाव प्रचार कर रहे हैं, तो कोई बात नहीं है ऐसी।
उन्होंने आपको बोला नहीं कि आप बीजेपी के खिलाफ चुनाव ना लड़ें, ठीक नहीं होगा, पार्टी में आगे उनका फ्यूचर भी?
मैंने अपने असल में हिसार परिवार का कहना माना और मैं चुनावी मैदान में, क्योंकि हिसार परिवार ने कहा कि चुनाव लड़ना ही है, आपकी बात छोड़ेंगे नहीं।
ऐसे क्या काम रह गया है, क्योंकि आप यहाँ से मंत्री भी रही हैं सरकार में और यहाँ से आप एमएलए भी रही हैं 2 बार, क्या काम हिसार में ऐसे रह गए हैं जो आपको लगता है कि जिनको तत्पर तौर पर करना चाहिए, जो अभी तक कम से कम जो प्रेजेंट एमएलए हैं या जिनका भी शासन रहा वो लोग नहीं कर सके?
देखिए, इस समय जो है मूलभूत सुविधाएं जो चरमराई हुई हैं, एकदम सड़कें टूटी हुई हैं, सीवरेज व्यवस्था गड़बड़ाई हुई है। क्योंकि मेरे टाइम में 10 साल पहले जैसे जो सीवरेज लाइन डली थी छोटी पड़ गई है, हमारा हिसार बहुत बढ़ गया है, तो बड़ी लाइन डालने की ज़रूरत है। पानी की निकासी का प्रबंध नहीं है, घरों में पानी घुस जाता है, जो नीचे घर हैं उनमें, तो सब लोग परेशान हो जाते हैं। पहले मैं यही सोचूंगी कि सब जो मूलभूत सुविधाएं हैं लोगों को वो पूरी प्रोवाइड कराई जाए।
Well, with that, it's a wrap and we're slipping into a very short break.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
लोन मिलेगा या नहीं ये आपके क्रेडिट स्कोर पे डिपेंड करता है। तो आज ही अपना क्रेडिट स्कोर चेक करें फ्री में पैसाबाजार.com पर। लोन की जरूरत कभी भी किसी को भी पड़ सकती है।
ठीक से एक्टिंग नहीं।
पैसाबाजार.com।
Election sunrise is on the proverbial paradise. Jammu and Kashmir gets set to vote in assembly elections after a gap of 10 years.
For the BJP, it's a referendum on Article 370. For the Congress and regional parties, it's a battle for survival. An election that will go down in the history. Watch the most comprehensive, the most nuanced, and the most power-packed coverage only on NDTV.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
लोन मिलेगा या नहीं ये आपके क्रेडिट स्कोर पे डिपेंड करता है। तो आज ही पैसाबाजार.com पर जाइए और अपना क्रेडिट स्कोर चेक कीजिए फ्री में, क्योंकि लोन की जरूरत कभी भी किसी को भी पड़ सकती है।
बस एक्टिंग करा लो इनसे।
पैसाबाजार.com। क्रेडिट स्कोर चेक, आदत अच्छी है।
Some people say the metaverse will only be virtual. One day this lecture hall will be made of code. and driverless cars would be trapped in intersections. But even in this maze of the future, you can't wish away health. It's time to become more resilient. 10 years of Banega Swasth India, we have grown and achieved so many milestones. And now I have a plan to beat the urgency, to stop breathing with difficulty, to relieve getting choked with inactivity. Energize our government, our environment, our society, and ourselves. Everyone, everywhere, every day. Banega Swasth India. One world hygiene.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
And impact your life.
news that informs and keeps you ahead. From Maximum City, Mumbai,
To the seat of power, Delhi.
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show.
Setback for Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah in the Muda case. Karnataka High Court has dismissed Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah's petition challenging Governor's nod for his prosecution.
And without political influence or the people who are in power, without their interference, it can't happen.
There is no question. My Chief Minister has not done anything wrong.
I demand Chief Minister Siddaramaiah ji to resign from the post of Chief Minister immediately without any further delay.
The governor very clearly has overstepped his legal ambit.
Actor and CPIM MLA Mukesh has been arrested in the MeToo case. He has also been granted anticipatory bail soon after he was arrested. The SIT is investigating Mollywood MeToo cases. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Stalin has hinted at cabinet reshuffle in the state. Speculations are rife over Udayanidi's elevation. Stalin's son is likely to be made Tamil Nadu Deputy Chief Minister. And Israel strikes dozen more targets in Lebanon. Thousands have fled their homes in South Lebanon. Schools have been shut in northern Israel and Lebanon. Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. My name is Kitty Behel. We are starting this edition with some breaking news now coming in. We are learning the SIT probing the complaints against Malayalam film industry personalities in the wake of the Hema Committee report has arrested actor and the CPIM MLA Mukesh in a rape case registered against him by the Kochi police. That's the latest coming in. Big breaking news that we're tracking at this point in time. Well, CPIM MLA Mukesh has been arrested in a rape case that was registered against him, and the SIT has been probing the complaints that have been leveled against Mukesh as well as other film personalities after the Hema committee report had come to light. Well, what we are also learning is that he's also been given anticipatory bail by the court. Soon after his arrest, he's been given bail as well. That's the latest coming in. We'll try and get more details about this in just a bit. My colleague Ishika and Uma will be joining us on the broadcast, giving us more details about the case. Meanwhile, that's the latest coming in. There has been a huge chorus for Mukesh's arrest, and now finally we are learning the actor and CPI MLA was taken into custody by the Kochi police, and the SIT so far has been investigating the matter that has been registered against actor Mukesh, after which he was arrested. But the latest development that has taken place is that he's also been given anticipatory bail. Well, that is what we are learning at this point in time. Well, also another big development in connection with the MeToo cases that have been registered. Kerala High Court also had dismissed the anticipatory bail application filed by actor Siddique, who was booked for rape, and the complainant had claimed that the actor had called her to a hotel in Trivandrum in the pretext of discussing a film, and he had raped the actor as well as assaulted her there. After which we are learning actor Siddique is likely to move to the Supreme Court. Well, big development now taking place in connection with the two cases, MeToo cases that have been filed against actor Mukesh and actor Siddique. My colleague Ishika is also now joining us on the broadcast here, getting us more details. Ishika, we are learning in connection with the case that was registered against actor and CPI MLA Mukesh. He was arrested and soon after given bail.
Well, yes, certainly, Kitty. You know, as you rightly mentioned, that the big breaking that we are getting at the moment is that MLA Mukesh, in fact, who was being interrogated today by the SIT in Kochi, he was in fact arrested by the police, and currently what we are getting to know that his medical examination was being done, and you know, it is likely that since he has already gotten anticipatory bail from the Ernakulam Principal Session Court, he will be released soon. But certainly the police, in fact, for a long time, they were planning to summon him for interrogation, and one of the conditions of the bail, you know, that was granted to him by the Ernakulam Principal Session Court had in fact clearly mentioned that he has to appear before the investigating officer for investigation, as in for interrogation, for questioning, and that is why in fact you know, he had to appear today, and after that the police first detained him, then arrested him, but he's likely to be released soon as well, since he has already gotten bail. Now, on the other hand, if we talk about actor Siddique, against whom the rape charges were filed, in fact today it was a big setback for him, since you know, since he got his anticipatory bail plea was dismissed by the Kerala High Court. Now, sources do tell us that he is in fact planning to approach, he is in fact going to approach the Supreme Court. The order copy from the High Court has also now come out, but what we are also getting to know from the Kerala police sources is that they are also planning to arrest Siddique. Now, the SIT team, the Kerala police team, is not going to wait for him to move to the Supreme Court. They are already searching for his whereabouts, and in fact the lookout circular has already been issued against him. So certainly big developments that is happening in this case, you know, involving these two Mollywood heavyweights. On one hand it is the MLA Mukesh, and on the other hand it is the actor Siddique. Over to you.
All right. Well, the SIT had interrogated Mukesh for over 3 hours. He had appeared before the SIT earlier today, after which now we're learning he was arrested. However, he already had gotten anticipatory bail by the court, and the latest information that is coming out at this point in time is that his medical examination was conducted, after which he is being let off. Well, that's the big development coming in at this point in time. Thank you so much, Ishika, for getting us all those details there. Shifting our focus now to some more news that we're tracking at this point in time. Well, This is in connection with the Muda case. In a setback to Chief Minister Siddaramaya, Karnataka High Court dismissed his petition challenging the governor's approval for investigation against him in the Muda landside allotment case. Karnataka High Court in its order said that the governor was not bound by the cabinet advice in this case. The court ruled that the governor's August 16th order to grant sanction for filing of cases against Siddaramaya does not suffer from lack of application of mind. The High Court also pointed out that the reasons for granting the sanction had been detailed in the files of the governor and did not have to be brought into the final sanction order. Well, what we are also learning is that the court has also said that the facts of the case require an investigation since the grant of land by Muda is to the family of Siddaramaya in 2021 and only a probe can reveal if corruption is involved. The BJP so far has said that the Chief Minister must resign and a probe by CBI must take place in connection with the case. Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivkumar also spoke to the media just a while back saying that there was no reason for Siddaramaya to resign as Chief Minister. However, what we are also learning is that Siddaramaya is expected to move the Supreme Court against the Karnataka High Court order. Listen in to reactions coming in.
Today, High Court has come out with a judgment which has clearly said the petition challenged by the Chief Minister Siddaramaya has been dismissed by the Honorable High Court. Honorable High Court has upheld the order of prosecution given by the Governor. So at this juncture, I demand Chief Minister Siddaramaya ji to resign from the post of Chief Minister immediately without any further delay.
There is no question. My Chief Minister has not done anything wrong. He is not involved with any scam. It is a political conspiracy by the BJP to all of us, to all the opposition leaders in the country. This is what is going on. So there is no question of my Chief Minister has done anything wrong. They are creating problem. We stand by him. We support him. He is doing a good work for the country, for the party, and for the state.
This is a huge scam, and without political influence or the people who are in power, without their interference, it can't happen. And that is to land belongs to ASC. Originally land belongs to ASC. तो इसलिए मैं मुख्यमंत्री को आग्रह करता हूँ, I strongly urge Chief Minister should resign immediately and investigation should begin. And also I demand for the investigation by the CBI.
I am not surprised. The idea of involving the governor and the governor's office was to ensure that this plays out like this. And the governor very clearly has overstepped his